Yeah, good. Me, Imma start mine too as well. Uh, yeah, I fell asleep. Yep, start mine. Let's see if let's see if the servers are still up. Okay, it's closed right now. Damn. I have, like, 300 gigabytes of footage, so I should be good. I should be good. I would have liked to take more pictures though, low key. Let me lock in for give me 2 seconds to, like, lock in properly. Oh, shit, I forgot to press go live. Okay. In fact, yeah, right here. Let me find a random picture on my computer as a background. Oh, I have two OBSs open. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, welcome guys. Hey, what's good? What's good, SCP? You're so hungry? Okay, get some food. Eat up real quick and enjoy the stream. I'm sorry, I apologize for sleeping over real quick from the initial date. Yeah, I even stayed up all night too. Mhm. Alarm wouldn't even help at this point because, like, um, once you take that small nap after staying up all night, you're cooked. One word. Okay, let's see. Make it count. Make it count. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. I would say discouraging. Discouraging? Yeah, discouraging. Disappointing. Kuro mostly took a one step forward approach and two steps backward this time. There's a lot of good foundations in closed beta 1, but in closed beta 2, instead of improving on those foundations solely on that, you can see a lot of top down decisions from obviously investors trying to get the player time up and also getting the revenue up with some of these decisions. Especially, you could see it inside, okay, the obvious one people are talking about, ecosystem. Most people aren't even talking about the progressions of the skills, which is technically even worse than the ecosystem. Honestly, ecosystem is not as bad if they were more transparent, similar to how CBT1 was, where they were more transparent about it. And then Tower of Adversity, it is kind of bullshit how we got time limited objectives instead of the usual clear stuff when they do have weather effects inside the game to spice up the difficulty. They could have easily copied Norman or just kept the system the same as CBT ones, which was already pretty fine in the start. I'm just gonna be generous, generous, because it's like, okay, I do know y'all actually like improved the game, and but how much of it can I credit as okay, this is what you should be doing, or like okay, you went out of your way above and beyond this time. Yeah, yeah. No, you're not muted. You were muted the whole time on your own stream.
Oh my god, I was muted to my OBS. I'm actually stupid, bro.
I tried to start over.
Dead ass. Okay,
To start over.
anyone who's still watching the stream on Phantom Lux stream should be able to hear what I was saying. But don't worry, I wasn't saying much. Okay, so at first I asked him how would you describe the game in just one word. So he said discouraging, right? And you can already
Yeah.
hear his explanation and stuff. All right, so for me, I would just use the word damn. Just one word, damn. So my reason for it is that the word damn is mixed with a lot of like disappointment. Because if you look at the game, a lot of the problems that we and other people have right now are obviously being intentionally done by some quote unquote unseen forces, right? Because if you take a look
Yeah.
back at the CBT, at the first CBT, you can tell that a lot of the decisions made in the second CBT are just really weird. Like, who asked for this? Who legit asked for these changes and revisions? Like, no one asked for it. Everything was perfect in the first CBT, but why is it like this in the second CBT? And when you think about it, you can definitely know why it is the way it is right now. And you can't just and you can't help being like disappointed because you legit cannot say anything about this. Even if you do voice some of them out, you can still tell that the agenda will still be there, and there will be
Yeah.
there won't be much to be able to be fixed. So it's guess really like you said, the discouraging. But for
Yeah.
me, honestly, it's mostly like disappointment because we just have to accept it. It is just gonna be the way it is. Hello, let's
Yeah,
go.
especially where some of them, since they're top down, where they're obviously top down, so you're gonna be like, okay, how much can this change without like, pissing off the top down people?
Hmm.
For example, there was the original Gacha system of Wuthering Waves. Absolutely terrible. 50-50. We also had 50-50 on Weapon Banner, technically, I think. And then also, you still had the chance of normal 5-star weapons dropping on top of the original.
Mm.
So it was the gacha for 5-star weapons, the gacha for standard characters, and the gacha for the limited characters. That was CBD1's gacha system. Absolutely horrendous. They improved it in CBD2. It still sucks that there's 50-50 in it, but it's slightly improved. The top-down investors, I guess, kind of like, okay, we're gonna let you budge here, and then you can tune it down, but in exchange, by artificially increasing the amount of time we're grinding, the content pacing in the game isn't really good if you're not refreshing, to be honest.
Even with refresh, it's still gonna be a hell of a work.
Yes, even if you refresh, games still amass
Yeah.
without feeling like you personally progressed after you spend a whole day's worth of stamina
Oh.
currency.
Oh yeah, definitely. Every time I log in and I spend like my fully maxed out stamina, I can barely level up one echo until level 24, and then 25 is like the cap. It is
Hmm.
so boring to play, dude.
Exactly.
They don't even give out. I mean, this is easy to change, but they don't give out refreshes or daily stamina bonus. They could change it, but even then, with how things are being, with things being the way that they are right now, it's not gonna change much, bro. The experience is still gonna be fucking miserable as hell.
Yeah. In fact, low key, it's a blessing that they kind of didn't give us anything, but it also sucked to like actually test the game, if you get
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So now this exposes it exposes how terrible and dog shit the system is. Imagine CBT1 where they didn't help us at all. You know how crazy CBT1 would have been? So
Wow.
yeah, we already had a massive drought in CBT1 where you could
Mhm.
go 100 refreshes and you feel like you barely progressed. Insane. Look, CBD2, uh, I do understand why they didn't give us help because CN Client, they had payment options open.
Yeah,
So
that's
payment
wild.
options are open. If they give Global some refreshes, some help, uh, free to play, people are not spending on CN are gonna be like, why did he say fuck me for? Type of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. So they didn't give us any help, any of that type of stuff. And they,
it's
in fact,
mhm.
encourage you to spend more.
It's honestly even wilder when you think about it. How they already have the top up system open for the second CBT.
Mhm.
So you can tell that they are being extremely greedy right now, or like they or maybe the investor themselves are urging them to open it, because I don't think that anyone in their right mind would be opening a top-up system in only their second CBT. I don't think anyone would do that. I think this was a decision made by the investors themselves. I'm guessing that they're trying to like ask the devs to make back some of the money that they put into the game, because the game has been
Yeah.
on development for quite some time now, and I'm not even sure if the 10-month period that they took to revise the story was also in the plan as well. So
Yeah.
if it weren't in the plan, like in the beginning, then this is probably the explanation as to why they already opened up the top up system for China, just to like try to make back some of the money. But it's also uh it might also indicate that they're like close to opening as well, because recently everyone has probably seen it, but on the Epic Games Store page for the Wuthering Waves, they already had the release date set as 2024. They don't have an exact date or month yet, but it's already like this year as well. So
Yeah. I,
the game is probably close to releasing, and if it is, I hope that it's gonna be like really really late this year, and not just
yeah.
early or mid this year, because with how with the way that the game is being it is right now, nah bro, we're cooked if the game released like this.
We are cooked. If this
Bro.
game releases April, May, okay. In fact, June 2, July is when I think the game would probably release realistically. They do have they have a time limit with their licenses, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
have to drop it by either early quarter 3 or pretty much the end of quarter 2. Yeah.
Mm,
So around the April, not April, around the May, June, July type time period, they have to drop the game.
yeah, damn, that's
Oh, with the
wild.
Epic Games date, it's what was it? It's a placeholder. So
Mm-hmm.
don't think of it too serious. Epic does this normally. Same thing with Steam.
Okay, let's just hope that that's that's just a placeholder or something like that, and they will actually
Yeah,
release the game when it
hopefully.
when it's fully realized.
Yeah. Low-key with these games, they usually go for a closed beta tree.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe CBT tree in like May or something, May, June.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yep. Yeah, that was also the case for PGR as well. They had 3 CBT, but the problem is we
Yeah.
also they have the investors on their ass this time around.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. They need to recoup a lot of the cost day one.
mm, okay. So, which noticeable improvements that you have seen and would like to talk about?
First notable improvement is we do have an extra mode, I guess, for endgame content, which is hologram. Pretty good success in my opinion. I just say, just due to the grind of the game, kind of like increase the difficulty, but that's mostly because of DPS checks.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is, okay, there's a time limit there, and then once you go down under this time limit, you don't get the rewards anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have like an overspeed version, similar to PGR, I
Yeah.
think. In some modes where bosses, if you don't get the timer, they'll become very aggressive. Hologram was mostly one shot, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Tempest Memphis, excellently designed boss. I love him. The rest of the bosses, Those were so buggy. It's nonsense. I do like the
Yeah,
ape, but he has that one spinning move that's like, okay,
yeah,
this is just pure
yeah.
bullshit.
The hitbox is all over the place. It's so fucking ass.
Hmm. Yeah, it's never consistent.
Oh yeah, talking
And
about.
Morning Ice was actually like playable in the start. Then they dropped that one big update and it absolutely bricked him. Genuinely unplayable right now. So
I
it's just completely bugged.
I checked the first trailer for Wuthering Waves with the gameplay, and I saw that the moves that Tempest were using right now in the hologram stages, right?
Yep.
He was already using them in the story fight, I think. If you take a look back at the first trailer for Wuthering Waves, you can see him using the moves right now. That's
That's why they split it to Thundering and Tempest.
Yeah, because they were worried that it was gonna like filter out a lot of people.
Yeah.
That is wild, honestly. And speaking about that, yeah, you can tell they definitely made the game a whole lot easier for a certain group of people, huh? You can tell.
Unless the glorious king has fallen.
Real
Absolutely washed. Aurelus now.
Aurelus. What they make crownless easier, bro? They have to. They have to because I'm willing to bet that it's the investors' fault again because they take a look at the boss. I think it's too hard, and then they said probably, this first boss in the tutorial stage is too hard, bro. It's gonna filter out a lot of
Players.
potential player actually, but it's actually potential spenders. So yo man,
Hmm.
can you guys tone it down a little bit? All right, it's just the first boss. It's just the first boss. You don't need to be cooking up this much. All right, just tone it down.
As if Crownless isn't just like a really important role in the story,
Mhm.
but they treated him like a side normal enemy that you find on the street.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's interesting that you bought this as well because in the marketing material
Season
like
one.
trailers and shit
Yeah.
like that, you see them like including a lot of crownless stuff and shit like that. So I thought that he was gonna be like a recurring villain or some shit like that, and he will have a major role in the story, in the overall story or something. But now we just kill him straight up
Yeah.
unceremoniously in the first 30 minutes. It's
In
wild,
CBT
bro.
one, they built him up well, bro. He was supposed to be a key pivotal role in the actual story of Wuthering Waves.
Damn.
But in CBT two, they could have kept the same thing and
Mm,
then slightly tone it down maybe for the more spenders, I guess.
mm.
That's what we'll call them. But they decided, okay, let's absolutely disrespect this man. Zero aura, zero. What was it? How would I say it? Zero danger
Zero motion.
in. Yeah, zero motion, zero danger.
uh, all right. So next up, shit. What was I trying to talk about? Okay, so
We could go story.
no, I was
That'd be a good transition. Okay, what were
no,
you
no,
thinking?
so I already asked you about like what do you see improved with the game. So for me, um, damn, name five things. Name five. Gun to the back of my
Name
head.
five things.
Name five things that were improved in the second CBT. Damn,
Uh,
I could.
hologram.
I could honestly list out a lot more stuff that went wrong than I could with things that went right. Damn.
Yes, that
Um.
is sentiment for me.
Hmm. Damn. I honestly cannot think of anything that is good. That is really, really good with the second CBT
And also
because.
keep in mind,
Mhm.
chat, it's like, okay, how much can we accredit it to? Yeah, you should have done this. It's like,
Yeah. Like how much of it is actually
accredit it
good?
to that, and how
Mm.
much can we accredit it? Like, okay, you went above and beyond. Hologram, that's above and beyond ish. Not really. I, yeah, it's above and beyond ish. I
Yeah.
love the boss fights. I love what they did. Where okay, difficulty one is the base form, right?
Mm.
Difficulty two, we get extra move sets. Okay, now we're learning more move sets. Difficulty three, we're gonna have an extra layer on top of it. Where we're gonna have a clone. appear.
Mm-hmm.
Then difficulty 4 is the same as difficulty 3, and 5 and 6 is pretty much the same. It's pretty much just DPS checks with extra mechanics that buffs the enemy. But most of the attacks are one shot in the first place, so it's usually a no-hit run.
Yep. Oh, hold up. Blanc, they can hold themselves. Like, look at other indie games, Deep Rock Galactic, Helldivers, and Helldivers 2 and Extra.
See, Helldivers is a good game at the start.
You forgot, yep, you forgot to mention one thing, this goal. They are not Kuro games. They are not Kuro games.
I pay $30, €30 just for Helldivers. Complete
Real.
experience.
Real. In this game,
I 30,
Mhm.
I get less than a 10 pull.
Oh, that is wild, bro. Yeah, nah. We're cooked. Yeah, nah, there is nothing in this game right now. There is nothing in Wuthering Waves that is encouraging me to pay. Bro, I hopped on Blue Archive for only 2 days and I instantly swiped. And I'm not like a whale, I'm not even like a whale player in Gacha games, alright? I don't whale at all. I don't whale in PGR, I don't whale in any Gacha game like that I have ever played, like Honkai, Wuthering, Genshin Impact, or FGO. I have never swiped for these Gacha games, bro. But the instant where I hopped on Blue Archive for only 2 days, I instantly swipe. But for Wuthering Waves, nah. For the Wuthering Waves, nah. I actually hope that they make no money from this, bro. It legit gets me damn pissed when I look at the decision made in the game right now, because you can tell they really, bro, they are their rent is due right now, bro. They really want us to pay to swipe in this game. It gets actually obnoxious, not gonna lie. But yeah,
Definitely.
Yep, and yeah, admittedly, the hologram content is definitely a good thing, I guess. Of course, there are some like some stuff's wrong with it, but we can just change it.
It's a good foundation.
Yeah, it's a good foundation. Yeah,
good foundation.
Yeah, just keep it and make it less about DPS checking in the later stages. But idea, yeah, is good. What is the next good thing?
Next good thing, I say the story, I guess. Gion's one is pretty good. Yeah. But I think you're playing not for passion, but for gems.
Yeah.
You're playing for gems instead of passion, so you must have skipped it. I read Gion's one specifically. I skipped Ling Yang's because furry boy, I don't really mess with him. Gion's one, it's okay. It started off really slow. So it was like it was a whole mini game event. Then it really got that serious later on. It was like, okay, I can see the writers of PGR actually writing this near the end of the story quest. They're hitting some like really nice peak notes, amazing quotes. Shit, amazing quotes. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. They're not that iconic, but they are well written near the end.
So well written that you cannot remember a line from it. That's wild. Yeah.
I can remember Blue Archive.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah.
The youth of our people, something like that.
Oh wait, I remember. Yeah. Oh wait, I remember one line from Wuthering Waves. This is the true measurement of a rover. Or something like that. Or something like that. That's it. That's just one line that I remember.
I remember Scar saying the Eye of the Storm. That's about it.
Yeah, the story did they did a lot of changes. Oh, okay. So before question, why did they remake the first story? I like the dark theme. Well, the first story, I mean, was it bad or not? I'm not really sure. I didn't pay attention to it much. But
I don't even remember.
Yeah, but I do remember that a lot of people were having a lot of issues with like the characters being apprehensive or like hostile towards the MC. That's it. So they just went ahead and remake the story.
Honestly, CBT2's main story is like a lot more interesting in the way it presents the world. So
Mm,
we've been presented to like the governmental figures like Jinshi,
yeah.
Sanhua, which is the guard, and also the dragon from earlier on in CBD1 and CBD2 that you see when you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jue. Jue is similar to like Hawkshoe, right? In PGR. Pretty much can tell the future, advises,
Mm-hmm.
Huanglong, which is Kulong, yeah. Advises Kulong, and then Jue advises Hangul. So similar role there. And then there's also Scar, gaslighting. Actually betrayed Huanglong. So when I finished the story class, I was like, okay, I am invested in the world now.
Mm,
I would be more invested. They could have played the beginning chapters a lot more better. There was way too much exposition for
yeah,
like
yeah.
starting off. Yeah, because CBD1 actually got the starting correct. Low amount of exposition. They're like, okay, wake up, Rover, time to get going. Boom, we're going over to the tutorial area. We jump over to Crown List. Now it's like, okay, Wuthering Waves is post-apocalyptic world. Any time in the day, you could really get jumped by Crown List. And then you see your whole squad get wiped. It's all up to you now. The pressure's there, danger's there. I forget the word. Pretty much, yeah. The buildup is there for Crownless. Actual
Mm-hmm.
threat.
Yeah.
And CBD2, you're already with Shisia because, that was one of the main complaints by, I think, CM players
Yeah.
about Shisia not being warm to you. So they made sure to be like, okay, frame one, Shisia's in your face, being
That's
goofy and
great.
all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I I didn't read the story that much, so I can't really tell if it improved or not. But I do pay attention to some snippets of it, and I do appreciate the fact that they give the characters a little bit more characters and liveliness in
Yeah.
their dialogue. Chisha is definitely like the prime example for it. You can see, like, you can tell from her like animation, her body language, and then her dialogue as well. And I do appreciate that. And then even the MC, they gave them a whole lot more sass as well. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
a lot of the choices that you can make are actually like fucking peak. Pretty funny. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
remember Ling Yang. Ling Yang's story quest was funny because it was like, okay, Ling Yang says you smell good. You're like, nuh. He asked to like shake your hand. You have the option to deny it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um,
You could just be a straight hater. I will say, what was it? Specifically the scene where Yang Yang gets captured by Scar for like a little bit, and then it was just Scar and Rover.
uh-huh.
Pretty much zero dialogue and a lot of like amazing facial expressions that they were doing. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate that
Yeah.
since it conveyed the story. Wait, zero words. It was done really well.
Yep. And then they also add in the feature where you could go straight ahead to the objective, or you could just do the optional objectives and get a little bit more details. I like that,
Yeah.
but I think they should. I like it, but it's a little bit streamlined, I guess, because I know it's optional, but it's like too optional. I'm not sure it does. Is that the word? Because you legit could just ignore
Of-
them, and you're
But
not
it
gonna
also is
missing that
like
much.
if you're an average player, you're gonna look at it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think they should expand a little bit on it. Like if you do, because like for Scar's fight, Scar encounter, right? The one in the village.
Yeah.
It's either you go around and collect these. If it's either you go around and do these optional objectives and then gain more details and then stuff about the story, or you could just jump straight up ahead and fight him. That's cool. If it weren't for the fact that both outcomes and both outcomes end with you fighting him. I want to like
Yeah.
maybe that we go around and then we do the optional objectives, right? We gain a little bit more stories, and that may somehow change the story a little bit. Like like our MC gets to understand him a little bit more, and that maybe somehow delays the fight a little bit, and then change the like the environment that we fight in and stuff like that. I want to see some more extensive stuff like that, because right now it is
Yeah.
good, but I don't think it's like fully explored, or like there's nothing incentivizing you to actually do it nothing interesting enough. Nothing interesting enough, in my opinion. So I think they should elaborate on that. But it's a cool concept, and I like that they added it.
Yeah, similar to like Cyberpunk is okay. Cyberpunk, you do have these optional stuff which could impact like your decision making or open up like an extra dialogue to get some more
Hmm.
feedback or thoughts out of the characters that you're in the world with. Phantom Liberty is a great example of that
Hmm.
too. And yeah, so maybe they gotta expand upon that, but we could like see that later on since
Hmm.
Wuthering Waves at the end of the day is a live service game. So
Yeah.
with live services, they love to let's drop it now and fix later type of thing. That's
Mm.
mostly the mentality.
Yeah, but I'm not I'm not sure if they also have the mentality as well for any, because for any other game, right? For any other new game, you could definitely say that. But the problem with Wuthering Waves is it has a very big competitor, you know? We already know what that
Yeah,
game is. And it is like a
the money
powerhouse.
makers.
It
Hmm.
is a powerhouse, bro. And Wuthering Waves, like let's not deny it. We can tell that they were trying to copy from that game, right? They were
Yeah,
obviously trying to copy from that game. So when they released Wuthering Waves, they need to understand that the players from the other game, when they come over to Wuthering Waves, they're gonna think, oh, this game looks interesting. Let me see if this game has anything that the game that I'm playing doesn't have. But then when you look at Wuthering Waves, you see a bunch of problems and then a bunch of missing features.
bunch of
So,
problems that.
hmm,
Mhm.
a bunch of problems and then a bunch of missing features. So then the players that are from the other game, they're gonna look at Wuthering Waves and think, "Wait, this game is exactly the game that I'm already playing." And not only that, it has a lot of missing features as well. What
Mhm.
reason do I have to play this game? So I personally don't think that they could just release the game in like a half-assed state. I think that they really need. I don't know if they know this or not, but I think that they need to understand that they need to have this game at max capacity, at max quality, because they are obviously going ahead against one of the biggest powerhouses in the gacha community right now. So I really don't think that they could afford to like release the game at a
Like
6 out of 10 state and then slowly
yeah,
refine it. I don't think
build
they
it
could
up.
do that.
You're versus a game that already has nearly 4 years of experience at
Yep.
this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2024. They dropped 2020. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're versus a game that has okay a lot of exploration. The puzzles in the game is a lot better than Wuthering, in my opinion.
Yep.
Wuthering has catched up, but they're missing the extra element of puzzles that actually mentally challenge you.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Genshin has a couple that are pretty good that I really liked. So they're fighting an uphill
Even
battle with
yeah.
that too, and
Even
then
mm,
a lot of quality of life really as well is just
yeah.
completely missing or removed from CBT one.
Mm.
For
So those
example,
huh?
crafting you
Oh
could
yeah.
craft in your menus in CBT one. CBT two you can't do it anymore.
And you don't even like get that much of that. It's not even like a
Yeah,
core gameplay aspect of the game, but whenever you do need to do it, it is it's just annoying as hell. It's
too
not a
much
yeah.
animations, bro. Too
Yeah,
much.
just running
Like cut to the
around,
chase already.
finding out you need to upgrade this, but you need
Hmm.
that one material, and you find out that you can craft it, but then you cannot craft it right from your inventory. You need to go back to the safe space and then go craft it.
Yeah.
It is annoying as hell.
Hmm.
So that damn, those are really like the only things that we found improved in the game, huh? All right, let's move on to the
Uh,
bad. All right, let's move on to the bad stuff. All right, let me just pull out my Word document with 2,000 words on it.
let me pull out my. In fact, let me clear this out of the way first. That false advertisement in the CBT two trailer, where it showed multiple diversity, is a complete lie. You can't
Yeah.
do any of that in the game. I don't know why. I don't know how that got into like the trailer and stuff like that. Because something like that is very, very misleading.
Mm.
Like you see how Ubisoft gets treated with their games.
Yeah, these guys are unironically lucky because they're just a small indie company, bro. If they
Yeah,
were a
I guess
major AAA
gacha
company,
gaming
they could.
standards is a lot lower.
Yeah, the standards are way too low in this community. Not gonna lie. Okay, long
Yeah,
question. Why are they after Genshin players? Aren't they having good community and player base? They love them. That's debatable. But as for why they are going after Genshin players, I mean, is it? It's not that hard to answer.
money,
Money, bro. They are chasing after that bag.
money.
They are
Here
chasing
comes
after
the
that bag,
money.
bro. They looked at how much money the other game made, and they just thought that they could replicate that. Is that?
Yeah, like the other game made
Mhm.
generational wealth.
Yeah. Uh, they are playing for money. They are playing for money, not for
For
passion.
passion, mostly money.
um,
Yeah.
they do have a good community, and then they also love. Even then, that's fucking debatable. Not gonna lie, with how Kuro
Mhm.
game is going with PGR right now, they have a good community. That's debatable. But as for do they love them? I don't think they do. I don't think they do, bro.
It's more of like they exist type of thing.
Yeah, I think they
We're trying
just.
to make them happy enough just not
Mm,
to revolt. Like they haven't done anything specifically offensive yet,
mm,
but they haven't done anything out of their way type of thing. The
yeah,
last thing that's like technically out of their way is quote unquote Gen 2 just to make it more flashier
mm,
and more appealable to newer players, I guess. But they haven't even cared about the new player experience at all. So
yeah, and I
yeah.
don't. When it comes to like, do they love their community and the actions that they do regarding the community? Honestly, I could just chalk it up as just like business PR, basic business PR, you know. It's like you said, it's not
Yeah.
something that they are going out of their way to actually to show their appreciation for like their fans or like their content creators. Honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna say
You can name a lot of instances where
yeah,
there's been yeah.
I could name a lot of instances where they absolutely disrespect us. They absolutely disrespect the
Like
people that make content for them, and me personally, not gonna lie. But
yeah,
yeah, a lot of the
there's the
stuff.
recent stuff with Wuthering.
Mhm,
There's the old stuff in PGR.
yeah.
If you guys know Proto, the whole Proto situation, earlier PGR launch days,
Mm,
and there's multiple instances where it's like, okay, Kuro, you have to lock in at some point.
real. They have to decide like what are their stance on like PR. Like, do they want to maintain this position where it's mainly business? Like once in a while, they drop a new video, and then they pay some content creator to like promote it or like cameo in their video, or do they actually want it to be in a close relationship with the content creators and the community? Because a lot of the stuff
Yeah,
that they're doing
similar
right now,
like Blue Archive.
yep. Yeah, they need to do something like that. Because right now all I'm
Yeah.
seeing is just basic business 101. That's it. I'm not seeing anything special. I'm not seeing them doing anything that is like endearing or anything like that.
Yeah. Like with Blue Archive, you could see the actual developers are really, really in touch with the community. In fact, the community manager does streams on the official account. Every
Mhm.
everyone tunes in, and it's an enjoyable stream. They're actually pretty good at
Yeah.
being entertaining.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff to actually they do a lot of stuff to actually interact with the community. Like they do it
Mhm.
like often. They do it often, and it's like out of their way as well because it's not about.
Yeah.
Of course, it's about like PR and about marketing, right? But then it's not like
Mhm.
they are streaming right when a new patch is launching, right? They are just
Yeah.
streaming in like your normal Tuesday and shit like that. But for
Mhm.
PGR, they only go out of their way. They only go out of their way to make like a big announcement or like a big stream when it is like a new character dropping. They don't
Yeah.
do any of that stuff. They don't do anything that actually interacts with the community like
Or
Blue
to like
Archive
build
does.
up hype in general.
Yeah, they just release one video and then just go back to sleep for an entire month, and
Yes,
then wake up,
pretty much.
drops a video, go back to sleep again for another month, rinse and
Mm.
repeat. That has been the same.
This is due.
Mm,
Yep. Let me drop a video real quick.
yeah, that has been the same, like the same way of doing stuff in terms of like marketing ever since day one of the China server. Oh, hold on, no, not China server, global server. I'm not sure
Yeah.
on China server, but on global server, it's like they're not trying anymore. They're just doing like the bare minimum. That's the word I have to
Yeah.
use
Like
then.
you can see, Crimson Weave, the most hype patch of
Yeah,
all time. You see how they're handling it right now?
real.
It's discouraging. This is literally your last chance to get, like gain a big audience in terms of like the global community. Like
I,
Westerners, they see anything like Virgil or Dante, Devil May Cry, they're
mm,
like, okay, that's really cool. Anime girl, Virgil. Let's play the game now.
subsector. Yeah, they're just fumbling so hard right now because Alpha is one of those characters that are not just popular in the gacha community, but they're also popular with players who are outside of the gacha community, right? People who
Yeah,
play there's a lot of people who play Devil May Cry that doesn't know or like don't like gacha gaming, but they still like the character like um Virgil and Dante. So when they see someone like Alpha, they may be tempted to play the game. But
yeah.
why doesn't Kuro notice this? Why don't they notice? They are just fumbling so hard, bro. They are barely doing anything when it comes to advertisement, bro. I go on YouTube, I watch videos, and 9 times out of 10, it's just Honkai Star Rail ads. It's
Yeah,
just
it's hard.
yeah, and the other 1 out of 10 is
Plus,
Genshin
most viewers
Impact.
right now got one. Yeah,
The other one
and
out of
then
10 is Genshin. Yep.
and the tragic thing about the whole like Crimson Weave, I guess, marketing or like how they're handling it is you've seen on multiple occasions people who have no idea what PGR is. There's been a Elden Ring video, right? Where it
Hmm.
was like when you're not the main character of your world, they're using PGR mods with Bianca and Alpha Crimson Weave. Comment
Yeah.
section. Well, like who's that character? Who's that character? Is that Alpha? Is that Virgil? Is that Dante? Like instant hit characters right there, but they're
Yeah.
missing to like market it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I see a
community
lot.
loves them.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. I see a lot of like TikTok videos featuring characters from PGR as well. Like I don't know why, but it's there and it's really popular. So there's a PR market right here. What are you guys doing, bro? Get off your asses and make some videos and make some content or something like just get off your
Exactly.
ass, bro. And
Just do it, bro.
yeah,
Like Nike. Just do it.
yeah. And like for Genshin and for MidHoYo, right? They're like the Coke, they're like Coke and Pepsi. They are really big, but they don't let that fact stop them from
Yeah.
always like dropping ads, regardless of the quality of the ads
Dropping
and shit like that.
ads,
They are constantly,
dropping
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It's like peak
Mhm.
capitalism, bro. They are just on your ass everywhere you go, on the billboards, in your walls.
Yeah.
Like they're in your fucking phone and computer or some shit like that, bro. They know what you're doing. They know what you're watching,
Exactly.
bro. So
Hmm.
they need to get off their ass. They can't keep doing this bare minimum stuff, bro. I don't know if they don't have the money for it because they're like an indie gotcha, an indie company or something. But nah, bro, this is not the way,
With
bro. If
Wuthering, they
you want to
definitely have the
succeed.
money. They
Hmm.
definitely have the money with Wuthering. But you see how like they've operated with their with marketing of the game. They haven't really targeted the general anime community yet. So with Hoyo, I've noticed over the years of me just watching anime YouTubers or anime videos or whatever, they're always sponsoring them. In fact, Honkai Impact, I didn't know it was an actual proper game for like a good while. I was thinking it was similar to Raid Shadow Legends, where
Wow.
I thought it was similar to Raid Shadow Legends, where they advertise a certain gameplay and it's not actually like that. But
Wow.
it's really like that. So over the years, I've been hearing, "Oh, Honkai Impact Third, Honkai Impact Third, Honkai Impact Third." Everyone knows Honkai Impact Third at this point, if you're in the
Mm-hmm.
anime community, because the way Hoyo's been consistently marketing around,
Yeah.
okay, anime community, and then they've also been marketing to the gaming community too. Like, okay, cool action RPG on my phone, Bayonetta esque style. Kuro has not been like showing. They haven't
Yeah.
been marketing like that, and they haven't been showing why you should play PGR.
Yeah.
Like nobody's downloading PGR off of seeing Bianca walk 3 steps on Times Square.
Bro, it's even worse on the Japanese server, bro. It's just on the Japanese server, it's just characters doing some Kumar based stuff. Like I remember this one time I watched an ad about like with Bianca, and then it's just like your typical cutesy girl
Yeah.
wearing maid outfit. Oh
Mhm.
my god, bro, is this how you wanna be like that? Is this how you're gonna be? Come on, man,
To be
come
honest,
on. The
to
only
be honest with
time
Japan, at
mm.
least they what was it? They kind of just consume anything at this point. With Gacha.
uh, 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 they need to get yeah, they need to get up their ass. They need to actually put in some work. It doesn't matter if like the ad is good or not. I think that they should just like spam it. Just
Yeah,
absolutely shotgun spam it. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. As long as you get the word out that your game is like this and they know of your name like Coke, Pepsi, and then Starbucks, they need to drill in the consumers the consumers head. They need
yeah,
to get in
brand
that head.
recognition.
Yeah, as long as they make their name known or like have some semblance of have a general idea of what their game is, I think they more than succeeded. They don't need to make the ad good or anything. Just make sure that people know of your game and know what your game is like. But right now, bro, no one know. No one knows. No one knows what this
Yeah.
game is, bro. Not even the global
Mhm.
server. What if? Okay, so is already like one bad thing. So that is in terms of
Yeah.
like PR and marketing.
Hmm.
And next up, for Wuthering Waves specifically, the ecosystem. Hmm,
Yes. The
this shit.
famous ecosystem.
So many bad things to
Mm.
say.
So many bad
Man.
things. Community was a lot slower to get to it, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Um, a big a big agenda that is affecting the game right now. And is making the game easier. You can definitely tell, and it has influenced a lot of aspects in the game, and not just the ecosystem,
Yeah.
like the gameplay. Yeah, mostly the gameplay, and then the ecosystem as well. They make it so that
Gameplay,
really simple.
co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, co-op has been affected largely with these new make the game more easier for, farming echoes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, CBT1, you can go back to like a lot of my older CBT1 videos where okay, I'm in co-op and we're actually having like a great time fighting all these bosses. It was actual like challenge.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah. It was an actual challenge when you first time do it in co-op. It was like, okay, this guy's got a little more move sets than his story counterpart, and he doesn't die in like what 2 liberation skills. That's about it. Like you actually have to fight him.
and yeah, and even in this version of co-op, it's too easy to like juggle the mobs. Like Crownless,
Yeah,
obviously. Crownless like is like the prime example.
staggering. Yeah, prime example.
It is way too easy to jump him, bro. You hit
I
you.
know. Anke, yeah, Anke,
It just
Yang
takes one
Yang,
person.
and someone else is really
Mhm.
really good at juggling him specifically.
It legit just takes one person to hit him, and then motherfucker just flies up into the air.
Yeah,
Imagine, like, yeah, imagine two people hitting him at the same time. If one person hitting him is already getting him like that, it is crazy
yeah.
just how easy they made this game. But yeah,
Hmm.
for the ecosystem, they changed up a lot of the stuffs, but it was mainly the changes were mainly influenced by this agenda. So before in the first CBT, it was very different. Like they had different sets, different effects, but everything was like it's not.
Fundamentally, CBT1 was really good. It was
Yeah.
not really good. It was there. It was like
Hmm.
it just needed an economy boost. That was
Yeah.
literally the only problem.
I like it because everything is not like way too streamlined or like way too basically formatted. Because since in the
Yeah.
CBT in the with the ecosystem of the CBT, it's kind of like the memory system in PGR. Like just get 2 and then 4 set effects and then call it a day and then have it boost like the element or like specifically boost a character and that's it. Now in the first
Yeah.
CBT it was way much different. Like we had sex we we had
X.
damn sex
We had sex.
sex
Sex.
sex feature in Wuthering Waves. That's how you make money, Kurong. Sex
Exactly.
feature. Yeah,
In
and
fact, you see Blue Archive, ASMR. You know how much they made? They made at least nearly a
a
mil
mill,
plus
yeah, that is wild.
just for one single one
A
of you
mill,
kiting.
yeah, making a mill from ASMR is wild, bro. That's not even counting the revenue that they gain from the gacha stuff itself. That is crazy,
Exactly.
bro. But yeah,
Bro, they're outpacing a lot of these monthly games just with ASMR alone.
hmm um, yeah. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, the
Yeah,
first
back to
CBT.
on topic.
Yeah, back in the first CBT, every echo set really felt that they were different, and you felt like you could actually construct an interesting, a complete and interesting echo set for each of your characters. Because back then
Yeah.
we had sets that kept that 2 effect, um like there were sets that only require you to have like 2 echoes to fully activate it, and then you also had sets that activated at 3 echoes and things like that, right? So you could do like a fully set that is 2 3 or 2 2 and then 1, or like full on 4 with one off element or something like that, echo.
Yeah.
So the ecosystem back then really felt like it was dynamic. You really had a lot of choices when it comes to like building your characters. I can remember back then my Yuanwu, he's just like a second DPS, right? Yuanwu is just like a second
Sub DPS,
DPS.
yeah.
But back then the ecosystem made it so that you could actually make him like a second main DPSer instead of just being
Mm-hmm.
like a sub DPS or like a support right now. Because back then we had a set that just straight up increases his defense that just straight up increases defense that like by a big amount as well. So you could actually use that set and then with another 3 set effect as well. And that's what I did to actually build him as like my main DPS in the first CBT. But now
Yeah.
in the second CBT, everything is just dumb all the way down. Like you don't have that many options anymore. Right now you can only build him as like support or like a sub DPS, and that's it.
That's pretty much it.
There's no dynamic in him. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no interesting way to play the game anymore. With how the echo sets are right now, it is just straight up. You are a fire element, right? Just build a fire set. That's it.
That's it.
Nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah, some characters may be able to be used as like a sub DPS or like a
Yeah.
sub support,
For
like for
example,
Chisha. Yeah.
Jianshin,
Mm-hmm.
she can be either buffer or you can make her like an attacker. She's kind of mediocre at both,
Yeah.
so it's not. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah,
great.
but
It's a
like
fucking
the
good.
yeah, but the idea is like but the idea is
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
the idea
Just
is there.
do either you do one you can just only do one thing or the or another thing. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the way that the ecosystem is going right now. Either you're a DPS or then you're something else. That's it. There's no dynamic
Mhm.
in it. Like there's no means for us to break out of the mode with the characters. So it's kind of sad to see that, honestly.
Yeah. I
They-
sent the screenshot in stream text real quick. That's from like CBT1 where we actually had options. You
Yep.
see, we got the main one, and then we had okay, you could pair it up with these different echoes, and you can get different effects.
Hmm.
Actually, interesting system, and they could have expanded upon it a lot more in CBT two, but they decided to streamline it because who's gonna read all
Yeah.
that?
And this
Media literacy.
for ecosystem, and we've only been talking about like how to build it and shit like that. We haven't even gotten into like the progression and like the farming of it.
Yeah.
It is so much worse when it comes to that. So as for
Hmm.
farming, bro, there's no point in farming because right now when you get an echo of like a low rarity, right? When you get a newer one, like let's say I get a turtle echo at purple rarity, right? I rank them up all the way, and then I later down the line I get a gold echo turtle. I cannot use my purple to like transfer all of my EXP or like my stats over. I need to go. I could transfer all of the EXP over, but it is only like 70% or like 80% of the original amounts that I put into the purple one. So I could use it as like an EXP fodder, but then I would be losing everything, like losing all of my
Yeah.
good stat, and everything else like that. So it gets
Leveling.
weird.
I also feel like it's
Yeah.
intentional. Yeah,
Oh,
it gets
absolutely.
weird. I also feel like it's intentional where they don't allow you to use the non-leveled ones as like
Hmm.
fodder so far because it is obvious feedback. Or if the developers themselves have played the game, where we assume they played the game, right? Obviously, that would be like one of the first jarring roadblocks in the game
Real.
because CBT one you actually couldn't delete echoes. So me and Matt were trying to make a point in CBD1 that okay, we're gonna get max limit on the ecosystem, and we're pretty much gonna be bricked our whole account.
Oof.
So we pretty much tried that. In CBD2, you are allowed to scrap them, but you can't use them as fodder, which is really dumb. And let
Mm,
us not even get into the substats start. We could
yeah.
start into the substats
Uh,
and all that.
yeah. And before we get into that, it also it also puts us in this like weird spot as well because when you fully rank up like a set with all of the echoes, but at purple, right? But when you get all of them again at gold rarity, right? You need to put in back a lot of resources as well. So
Yeah,
so the game is putting us in this situation where we feel like disincentivized to be raising up our purple echoes because we know that later down the line we're gonna get a new echo set that is shinier. Like, so what's the point
Mhm.
of putting all of that hard earned resources into the purple one when you know that none of those stuffs are gonna be going back to the gold one? So it just makes
Yeah,
no sense. They need to allow a feature where you could like let's say I cap at purple, right? But the next week I rank up my account, I level up my account, and I can actually farm my gold ones, right? They should allow a feature where we can combine multiple ones of the same rarity to in order
yeah.
to level up one.
Ascend it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Mm,
just to give us the option to actually retain it and not just
yeah.
throw it away.
This is especially important when it comes to the quote unquote shiny ones. Right. In fact, the way shinies are technically handled in the game is they kind of just exist. It's not like
Yeah.
Pokemon where there's a certain percentage. They just exist in certain areas and you just pretty much find them and you
Yeah.
are guaranteed to drop. But the bullshit thing about it is right now they're locked to like the lower rarities for whatever reason.
Oh,
Unless
that's
it's a boss shiny,
crazy.
it's lower rarity. So you get this
Mm,
cool ass shiny, but now it's
that's crazy.
which is
Locked in
ridiculous.
Oh no! It's
Oh yeah,
half
Saxor,
off.
the turtle boss is still in the game. It's just I feel like they got rid of some movesets. And he also looks more smaller this time.
Mm. By the way, someone is asking. By the way, you guys feel the 5 stars are not really that special? Yep, not gonna lie,
Yeah,
they don't.
not special.
Nothing about them that could make you tell. That could make you think that they are a 5 star because.
I feel like with Wuthering's characters in general, it's like, okay, they are all of a certain quality. Like
Mhm.
Genshin, okay, mint picking game specifically, they make sure you know it's not a 5 star. They make sure to get rid
Oh
of
yeah.
animations on ult, make them completely weaker, but some are actually pretty useful. But yeah, they usually make it a lot weaker. You have to pull like sequence 6 equivalents on the mint picking game, all that. Kuro, they did have like a standard of characters, standard of like, design for the characters. So everyone has their own animations, all that unique stuff, unique abilities. So in terms of like, okay, this is a 5 star character. How can we like differentiate it? So if we were to do a blind test with someone who hasn't played the game at all, and we'll be like, okay, which of these characters do you think is a 5 star based off the gameplay alone? It's gonna be a really hard decision since most of them aren't special. In terms of damage, a lot of them are not like properly distributed in their multipliers. For example, Gion was like a really good case of that, where
Yeah.
most of his damage is based on his last hit. But in this game, enemies attack you. They're not standing in one place. So realistically, you're not gonna get the last hit off most of the time. And I
Yeah.
think he has like a 5 hit combo, 5 hit, yeah, string.
And
Compared to like someone like Donjin, where hers is like 4, and then you could get off of 5, I think.
mhm.
But hers is like really quickly. It doesn't take much frames. Gion, he has like a ton of animation to it in startup.
Yeah, and the problem and the thing that exacerbate this problem is that they just make the game way too simple now. Then
Mhm.
everyone it's like everyone is so simple that no one is simple anymore. No, actually, they just make everyone really
Everyone's
simple.
special, so nobody's special. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Mhm.
like like everyone's gameplay is just pressing attack and then EQ. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
I really
way.
started feeling it recently. I was like, okay,
That's the way
sort of
the.
depth. Like you have Dungeon here, who has the ability to do multiple attacks based on like your inputs, right?
Mhm.
You could expand upon that with other characters. Have more specialized. Okay, if I hit left click, left click, left click, then use a skill and something else, I'll do something a little bit different type of thing.
Yep.
Rover has something similar as well, but she's hers you have to like wait like a second or two, and then you pretty much get a charge attack off for free. Not that stamina was a problem with charge attack in the first place, but something to like very
The
add some
gameplay.
variety to the
Mhm.
gameplay, variety to the gameplay. Yeah,
I like how you call rovers she. It's like you're absolutely
she,
denying. It's like you're absolutely denying the existence of the male one. That's wild.
bro. I am not picking the male one. Male one actually looks good too, but Rover, she has different type of aura.
I don't mind you not picking them, but I don't think this is all right for you. Just ignore the man's existence like that. That is disrespectful. That is disrespectful to
Segregation.
bro.
Nah, I was low key debating picking him in CBT one, but then I picked CBT. I picked the female Rover. Ever since then, not looking back.
Yep. And
But yeah, back on topic.
and gameplay is just like mostly just press button,
Yeah.
charge up your thing, and then hold your normal attack. That's it. It is so
Mhm.
boring and repetitive,
It
bro.
is. Yes. So you can feel it hours on hours, like
Hmm.
of like playtime,
It's gonna get really,
and
really
then
repetitive after that.
yeah, and then I feel like, oh yeah, not I feel like they definitely messed up the fluidity of some characters in this closed beta for whatever reason. Sanhua is like the best example of it. CBT one, they got her down perfectly in terms of like how she plays, and it's super fluid. Well, in CBT2, now they started adding a little bit of animation lock at the end of like her ult, where you have to wait like a couple frames just so you could charge her core forte to actually like break the ice.
Oh, that's
CBT1,
wild.
you could be charging the core forte mid ult animation too as well, and it made it much more fluid, much more nicer to play. I pretty much touched Sanhua in CBT2. I was like, ew, ew, my brother,
Damn.
this is disgusting. Never, I I regret putting any type of resources into Sanhua and CBD2. I pretty much deaded her immediately when I saw that. I was like, this is terrible. This is my goat who made Alpha,
Now they butchered her.
who made all these nice characters in PGR.
Now it's over. It's over. It is so rover.
It's Rover.
Oh shit! Look at r/Wuthering Waves. They say it is cool. They took the Genshin route. Damn.
That's Redditors, bro.
Damn.
Do you really take opinions from Reddit? I'm sorry.
Bro, it would be generous to call them second class citizens. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, honestly, with me, I can never understand Reddit. Like, apart from
Real.
pirating, apart from pirating and random stuff that you need answers to, Reddit doesn't really serve a use for me, I guess. Twitter is there, I guess, for entertainment and artwork mainly.
Yep. So that is for the ecosystem. So we already.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we also have to like cover
No,
like
we haven't even started covering ecosystem.
We have
This is
to.
the surface.
Yeah, there's also
Let's
like
talk-
the
Let's talk about what they
acquisition.
removed from it.
No, we still have to talk about like acquisition, the rate of acquisition.
Yeah, acquisition.
And then substats and leveling and shit like that. It is annoying, bro.
Leveling, enhanced absorption rate bullshit. That's not it's not localized properly. And then also the general lack of transparency.
Yep.
In the ecosystem.
Okay, so
compared to speaking one.
Let's talk about stats farming. Like, okay, I don't mind farming for stats. I don't mind that at all. But I do fucking mind it when they blatantly fucking weighted a lot of the useless stats because they want you to grind more. It is, I mean, it is not confirmed, but anyone could go into the game and look at the data, look at the echo sets, look at the echoes that they have acquired, and you can definitely tell that they at the very least, weighted the HP stat. It is wild how many HP stat I get, bro.
HP, defense stat, healing bonus.
Real, bro. Because
healing bonus.
Like for example, for one star echoes, right? Or like no, one cost echoes. Yeah, one cost echoes. The bottom stat is always gonna be HP, but then the upper stat is randomized between 3 stats. So it's gonna be HP, attack, and then defense. So you think that the rate is just gonna be 1/3, right? You would think that the rate is just gonna be around 30% or like 35% or something like that, right? But nah, bro. But nah, the amount of time that I put into farming the first one, the one cost ones, bro, the amount of echoes with HP and defense stat that I get out of them is crazy, bro. There is no way that this is like 30%. HP and then defense, they have to be like around 40% or something like that. And then attack is just 40, like the last 10%.
Yeah. And then let's see. Cost tree is the biggest offender for this.
Yeah.
All the elemental damage bonuses is on top, and then on top of that, attack percent, defense percent, HP percent can roll with it too. And yeah, it does elemental bonuses and attack, defense, and HP percent. That shit is so weighted against your favor. It's crazy. And then the fact that you can roll fusion, element echo, and not even get fusion bonus damage, and you'll be getting glacial instead for some reason. Instead of locking it between, okay, you got this element already, you won the gacha on this. Now let's lock it down. Okay, you can only get this bonus damage. No, you can roll all these other elementals for no reason. It's just a pain to farm. Um, Also, there's like 3, 4, or 5 of the elites inside the world too. So you're pretty much gonna get at least like what, one a day, maybe if you're lucky with your echo drops. Uh, you have to go into other people's world to effectively farm those.
Yeah, you have to make friends, which is ew. All right, okay, bro.
Yes.
Imagine making friends in gacha gaming. Nah, bro, that's not me.
Yeah, not me
But
too.
as for the off element thing, I feel like they could just fix it by just removing the five echoes, 5 echo cap. Just bring it back down to 4, and then everything should
Yeah,
be good. Just bring it back down to 4, so that the last one, even if you do get an off element on it, right, you could still use it as like the last echo in like a fully realized set, just for the stats
yeah,
alone, instead of making it like that. And instead of them making it like this right now, a lot of the echoes that you get, even if they do get good stats, you just have to throw them away. Like
yeah,
I'm looking for um a light element echo. Let's say I'm looking for a light element echo. I get them, but then the stats that I get is lightning damage up. Like, what the fuck do I do with that? I can't scrap it.
exactly.
I can't scrap it. I can't even use it as fodder for my other echoes. Like, what? What did you guys want me to do? How did no one play
And the
test
worst
this?
part about that is like, okay, enemies that are specific, completely immune to it too. Spectral Prism. You would think
Hmm.
Spectral Prism would only roll as a Spectral Element Echo. But no! This game decides, okay, we're gonna make it Havoc. Oh, we're gonna make it Fusion. Oh, we're gonna make it
Bro.
Electro. Like, it makes zero sense. You
Not
literally have
real.
dedicated. Okay, let it roll all these other elements apart from its own 90% of the time.
Bro, the
It's
game is
so
so
weighted, it's
rigged.
crazy.
The game is so
Mhm.
rigged. It is frustrating as
Yeah.
hell to play, bro. I
Mhm.
dropped.
Inst-
I only
yeah.
played the game for 2 weeks. I know it's a beta, right? I only played for 2 weeks and I already wanted to drop the game, bro.
Yeah, I
Holy
was
shit.
okay. 90% of these testers dropping the game after what? The first 2 weeks?
Real.
First 2 weeks is pretty optimistic for me. For people, because the
Yo.
content pacing wasn't that good.
Mhm.
So a lot of these people would have dropped like week 1.
The only
Then
thing, the only thing that was pushing me forward past that 2 week is that I was hoping that I could make some content out of this, but nah, bro. There's nothing to make a
yeah,
video on. There's nothing worthwhile to make a video on, bro.
yeah, same. And then what was it? CBT1, you could re-roll main stat. CBT2, guess what they did? They got rid of it. Something that was actually
Oh,
convenient for you.
nah,
Yeah, we gotta pack that up. Convenient
nah.
stuff, get rid of it.
Oh, you have a daily limit to how many echoes that you can farm. Bitch, swipe and then farm it out to set fields. And
Yeah,
even
I forgot
then,
to play with my proper controller. Let me get the 16 digits at the back of my card and three magical numbers.
and even the fucking Tasset field is ass. How the fuck
Yes, test set
how
fields.
the fuck are you asking me to drop 40 stamina in order to get two look like one just one echo? You get two, but it's gonna be two different elements.
Yeah.
40 stamina for two echoes? That's it? That's it, bro? Nah.
Mhm. You can
Nah.
be union level 40 plus, right? And you aren't even guaranteed like just all gold at this point
That's
for tacit
why.
fields. They will still drop purples for no reason.
Damn, yeah,
It's a waste of
nah.
stamina.
Nah, that's rigged. There's no
It's
point
completely
doing
rigged.
that.
And the way the ecosystem and like progression is set up is so you can't just mindlessly body hunt it like
Mm,
CBT1. they want you at a certain point to be like, okay, I'm frustrated. I can't get what I want. Now I gotta go to Tacit Fields and spend premium currency on this. So then they can get more refreshes and people spending money, I guess,
Yeah,
on it.
that's bad. That's bad.
Mm.
So there's already like everything wrong with the
Yeah,
ecosystem.
let's get into enhanced absorption rate.
Oh
One
yeah,
second.
yeah.
Let me look at the stuff I talked about on Discord. Okay. So apparently, enhanced absorption rate. Not apparently. According to what was pretty much said inside the game, it was like, okay, the enhanced absorption rate, the one that you're supposed to level your data bank with to get like better rarity drops and stuff like that, that only applies 5 times a week. Then it goes back to an undisclosed rate,
Like,
depending on your level. In CBT1, they were actually like transparent about it, transparent about all the type of rates, all that. CBT2, they completely like undisclosed it. Can't even see like what the actual rates is and all that. You could say, oh, they just wanted to make it more, brief, simpler, all that, so people can understand better,
nah,
right?
bro.
Counterpoint.
Hell no.
They have a specific system to show brief descriptions and actual large descriptions
Yeah.
in the game. So for the people who don't want to read and like, okay, damage bonus, boom, up that, yeah, that's all I need to know. For the people who wants to read, they can see the actual multipliers, how much percentage they get as a damage boost, all that. So there's literally no reason why they couldn't have added something similar for the Echo Bank.
Yeah, and it's not about like dumbing things down or making things complicated. It's literally just about making it a little bit more transparent with the players. That's it. Like we just want to
Yeah,
know what the rates are. That's it. It's just about
yeah.
transparency.
A lot of the problems with ecosystem is literally transparency at this point. I
Mhm.
don't actually I don't actually like mind the farming too much,
Yeah,
but
it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
but just make it transparent.
yeah.
Even the enhanced absorption rate. Like, do we get an option to choose which gets enhanced? Or is it just like randomized around the world? Because there are like
Mhm.
hundreds of mob around the world, bro. Are you telling me that you're gonna pick randomly 5 out of them every week, and then I'm gonna have to go and find them?
Exactly.
Fuck no, bro. Like, just say how do
My
you?
theory about
Uh-huh.
that was the ones with a certain aura is the one that actually like has the absorption rate applied to it.
I'm.
But it
I
also
don't think
like
it is, but could
I don't
be
think so as well. But it's like the only possible indicator I can think of at this point. But it's also weird. It's like, well,
because yeah,
there's hundreds of mobs in the game. You're
yeah,
telling me that 5 random ones around the world is just gonna have the rate?
yeah. Like what? If it
There's got to be like a specific way to control it.
It's probably like proximity based
Similar
or
to
something
like
like that. Like when you,
master balls.
it's probably
Yeah,
like
it's probably
proximity
proximity.
based. Like when you drop into the game,
Hmm.
like when you drop into a map or like an area, and then the game is like seeing that you're heading for like a mob, and then it just instantly boosts the rate of the mob ahead for you. It has to be
Yeah,
something like that. It would be wild if they just pick 5 randomly from the map every week. Nah, bro, nah.
that's the most likely option. What you said first. It's probably gonna be like, okay, you load up into an area. There's like the game split into like chunks or something like that,
Mhm.
and then if a certain
Yeah.
echo in a certain chunk rolls basically an RNG number where it's like, okay, now it can apply the enhanced absorption rate. They will show like
Mm.
the aura or something like that.
They should just if they if this were about like simplicity and then dumbing things out, I feel like they could have done a whole lot better with that as well by just giving us the
Yeah,
option to choose which one is getting that enhanced rate. Like make it so that whenever you finish killing one, right, and it drops down the echo, but before you pick it up, you do get the option to like enhance the pickup. Like hold down E. E is for pickup, right? So instead of just pressing
yeah,
E and then pick it up normally, they should make it so that you have the option to hold down your E to enhance the rate because it actually gives you the option to use which of those five enhanced to be used on, and then it also gives you the option to use it when. Because let's say what happens is if I'm just like farming in the world, right? I'm not actively farming or anything like that. I'm just killing mobs for fun. Let's say I'm just killing mob for fun,
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere, this mob gets enhanced, even though I don't need it. So like, what do I just lose that count? Do I just lose that 1 out of 5 count? Like, give us the
Yeah.
option. Just give us the option.
Similar to master balls, quick balls, something like that to indicate to the player, like, okay, uh, you could use your 5 times a week absorption rate. In fact, 5 times a week is so small, it's crazy. Give us like 20. Because the amount of mobs you kill is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like fine is fine, I guess. As
Is it
because
though?
five, I
Is it?
mean, because five is just because right now it's just like one echo set is 5, right? So I
Yeah.
think if they did it like the way that I suggested, which is to just give us the option to actually use it, choose when we can use it, and like which mob to use it on. And if they do it like that, in best case scenario, you're gonna be farming 5 mobs, right? You're gonna be five mobs per week. So if you do get lucky and then you use all those 5 counts on a specific set, you're gonna be able to fully complete a set. You're gonna be able to fully complete a set in just 1 week, in best case
Mhm.
scenario. And I think that's just alright, I guess, because it is a live service game. They do have
Yeah. They
to
want you
keep it at a
grinding. They
level.
want you having the
Mhm.
player time up, all
So
that.
yeah, in best case scenario, you could be completing one set per week. So that's like one character per week. Of course, that's just best case scenario. But then again, it's a live service game, so I think that's just all right if they did it my way.
Hmm. What else is left? I guess there's
Exploration.
substats that we could talk about.
I
Oh,
already did
you're
the
talking about,
substats.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we did substats. We did that. Um,
exploration
yeah,
map open world.
yeah. We can start with exploration.
Mm.
My type of field. Oh,
Mm,
how disappointed I am with
yeah.
like a lot of these open world games. See, they see the excellence Zelda has put out into the industry, right? And then they decide to take none of it. Someone like Elden Ring actually looked at it and was like, okay, we can make this better. And they did. Elden Ring cooked Game of the Year, amazing generational game. They cooked on that. And then Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes around. Like, okay, we saw how good Elden Ring was. We'll take some aspects from them and also turn up what we had in the last game to like 11. And then boom, amazing experience to explore. Actually interesting, amazing puzzles around the place.
Yep.
That's mentally challenging. It's not gonna be the simple. It's gonna be unique. It's not gonna be the same copy paste. Make it a little bit different ones. Um, there was a lot of like lore building, a lot of storytelling with the actual like world around with the NPCs. They made it more alive, where actual story NPCs are inside the world, and you can see them whenever and have like some little dialogue with them. That could potentially even lead to quests. With Wuthering, they did up the amount of NPCs that are around the place. I do see like some patrolling around
Yep.
areas like Central Plains, all that, but there isn't the actual characters that you spend time with and have story quests with present in the game as of right now.
Yeah. Even
So
like
like I would like to see Anke or Anke, Yang Yang, Shisia just around the place. In fact, Shisia is described to like be around kids a lot, just to have fun, all that. She'll be in Jinzhou, I think. Chinese speakers probably died at this pronunciation, but she'll be in the main city, just chilling, having fun, teaching the kids something. Maybe have 2 dialogue options, something to keep the world feeling more alive, and
yeah.
then the other places where are like the deserted zones, the excursion zones of the game. Those should be like, okay, tone down, more military activity, more enemies, more dense. we should have more density in the amount of enemies are around place. Because I feel like
Yeah.
they toned it down this CBD2.
One clip that reminded me of Elden Ring is that one clip where DSP was trying to complete that puzzle where you need to move all of the balls into one side of the room, right?
Yeah.
The objective is simple, but the ways that you can approach it is numerous, bro. It is so dynamic. Like
Hmm.
you could build like a shovel or like something to propel all of those
Yeah.
balls in it at one. You could go the dumb round like DSP and then just throw one get one.
One by one by one by
Yeah, you
one by
could do
one,
that.
taking hours.
Yep. But you could also be smart about it and just build like a
Yeah.
shovel and then just propels everything into one side of the room. That's the kind of dynamics that I'm looking for in Wuthering Waves,
Yeah.
bro. The objective is simple, but the ways that you can approach it is varying. That's what I'm
Hmm.
looking. But for
Yeah.
puzzles and exploring right now, it is very subsurface. It is just pick up this thing and then put it in that slot. That's it. Even
Yeah.
for the puzzles as well, it's not interesting. It's just one way of clearing. There's no opportunities for you to approach it different ways. Everything is really streamlined, so that's really got me disappointed with the exploration.
Yeah.
And that is not even counting like the map design as well, because I feel like the map design is kind of like mid, not gonna lie. Everything just feel
Yeah.
disconnected. Even the mobs that are in the world, there are some places that are like interesting, like for the tree, right? You see a lot of the monkeys fighting you see some monkeys
Yeah.
fighting each other. You see some monkeys like hanging out with the like chili puffs.
With the homies.
Yep.
Hmm.
You see things like that, but more often than not, you just see the mobs fighting them or like just scattered around randomly. They don't
Yeah.
feel like a cohesive world. Everything doesn't flow with each other. It doesn't feel like an actual breathing society or like an environment.
Yeah. I will say though, for the NPCs, not NPCs, the what is it? The exiles, pretty much the human
Hmm.
bandits, pretty much of the world. You do see like a lot of unique inter each other on, and there's just two of them like fighting, and it was a group of crowd just cheering, like, okay, I got bets on that guy, he's
Yeah.
gonna win. Or they were with their training, doing some exercise,
Hmm.
taking actual damage, and then they're like, okay, let me stop real quick, and then they started healing up when they start
Yeah,
taking
that's
a
all
drink
interesting
or something like
stuff.
that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. We need to see more things like that.
Yeah, we need to see more things like that. And then as for like the exploration of the world, we need to see more navigational like variety. The first thing I noticed when playing CBD2 is like, okay, these guys have toned down the run speed, the speed of everything to make the world feel a lot larger than it used to be.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That was literally the
Mm.
first thing I noticed. I was like, okay, why am I running a lot slower? Is this is this walking speed? Yeah, we need some type of okay, Tower of Fantasy. I haven't played it much, but I do know they got like the navigational variety part down to a T. Like there was a lot of like different type of vehicles or way you could traverse the world a lot
Yeah.
better.
Imagine if you're walking around the world
See?
and then you see some of the human bandits, right? You see some of the human bandits trying to clear a puzzle. And then if you just sit back and then you take a look at it, you can get a hint as to how to clear a puzzle. Imagine if you could do that, bro.
Mm. Yeah, something like that would be really cool.
Like for the like the ones where you have to step on a platform, right, to open something.
Yeah,
Imagine if you're just sitting back and then you see two bandits just trying to step on and step off a platform. That will make the world feel alive because you feel like the puzzles that are put there are actually in the world. You feel like the enemies or the mobs, the human mobs that are existing in the world, they can also interact with it, and then they can also see that these puzzles are being put in the world, and it's just not something that we the players see. It makes the world feel
yeah.
so much more alive.
And they
Okay.
could literally give like some lore reasons to like the
Hmm.
puzzles. Like, okay, the Wuthering, when it came to
Yeah.
something, it'll be like it made some evolutions. Something like
Crazy.
that.
Oh yeah, they could do that. Like they were testing like the intelligence of like the intelligence of like the beings in the world and shit like that, testing out
Yeah,
their
the AI of the
capability.
characters.
Yep, testing out the AI of the mobs that they put in the world. Yeah, just
Yeah,
make it interesting like that. Put in like a note in the game. Put in like a note that you can pick up, and it says, in the world you can see these puzzles being scattered around. Some have speculated that they are put by the protectors of the world and things like that to test out the intelligence of beings that roam it. That would make the game so
yeah.
much more interesting, bro.
Hmm.
But nah, they can't do it. They haven't done it, bro.
Yeah, puzzles in Elden Ring, there's a reason they're there.
Hmm.
Puzzles in Zelda, there's a reason they're there. It's actually explained. Wuthering, they need to, explain why they're there in the world. Like some bullshit reason. Really. That's all they need.
Yeah, fuck it, just go balls to the walls. Just make it interesting. I don't
Hmm.
want it to be basic as hell like this, bro. I don't care what the reasoning is. Just make it interesting.
Yeah. I also
Anything.
feel like the world's a bit too linear. Yeah,
Yeah.
most times. Because, like, okay, for example, when you want to unlock the monkey boss, you have to do this whole hour plus long quest. If you're skipping dialogue, if you're skipping dialogue, it should be like an hour or around an hour. Yeah, around
Damn.
hour 30 minutes quest just to clear out the pretty much AIDS cancer that they were given through the air, which aesthetically actually looked better. Well, I liked it more at first. Then they got rid of it.
But you I
And
think you just
then,
cut
yeah.
off.
Oh, I cut off?
I think so, yeah. You just went silent for a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing with you as well.
Mm.
But basically, what I said is game's kind of too linear. We had like an hour long quest, pretty much just to unlock the monkey boss. So for like a good while, you had to wait it out, and it's also locked by unit level too, which is also annoying. So yeah, the whole quest just to unlock the monkey boss, we had like a completely different aesthetic to the area. It was more like snowy slash reddish with giving you AIDS, I guess, with the pollen in the air. It was pretty interesting with the way they handled like different mechanics that they introduced, especially like with picking up objects and using javelins to
Oh yeah.
redirect stuff, all that.
I remember them using it for the biker boss in the first CBT. I don't know why they
Yeah,
removed it for the second one. You could put a
yeah, it's weird.
you could pull up his
But they
javelin and just throw it
introduced
at
it
him.
again as like in the quest to unlock the biker.
Hmm.
It's weird because a lot of these, okay, more interesting mechanics, they show it and they never pick it up again. That's semi my problem with it too as well.
Game is interesting? Nah. Dumb it down.
Uh,
I would like to
moral
see
of the
like
story.
more areas. I want to see more areas that have a bunch of puzzles that are actually connected to each other because I remember this one actually impressed with the puzzles in Genshin. I remember this area. I don't remember where it is obviously, but I remember that it was like this one big temple at first, right? You go into it, it's just like
Mm.
one big temple, but then there are two smaller temples, and if you go around and complete all of the puzzles in those two smaller temples, you're gonna be able to elevate the entire area. Like you got to
Oh
like
yeah,
bring
I know that.
yeah, you brought all of the water levels down, and and then
Yeah,
it further like opened up more puzzles for you to explore. That's
yeah,
the
that
kind
was
of depth.
impressive, and they actually expanded it upon it in like newer regions too,
Yeah, that's
if I
the kind of
remember.
depth. That's the kind of depth I'm looking for because right now everything is like I said, very subsurface. You could just complete one
Yeah,
puzzle and then you move on with it. They are not
I guess the
interconnected
only thing
or
close to that
Mhm.
inside Wuthering is that one area next to
Yeah,
the
the one pit,
mech
right?
abomination.
The
Yeah,
the one pit, right? The
the
one
mech
water pit.
abomination. Uh,
Oh no,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
near
that
the
one.
boss. Yeah, yeah, where
Okay,
we had
got
to
it.
get the two cubes and
Mm-hmm.
do some other stuff. Yeah, that's the closest thing we have to that, but it's not really like it's not
Really
as
dead.
grand as like the one
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
Chicken game.
put these boxes there and then you're done. That's it. It's not really
Yeah,
in depth as three tower thing that I saw in Genshin.
Yeah.
In
And the thing is, it like you could see they kind of ease you into it. They don't specifically say it's a quest.
oh yeah.
They ease you into it, and there's pretty much signs around the world where it's like, okay, there's these tree statues, and then the current theme of that is repeated somewhere else too as well.
Mm-hmm.
You did something in that certain area, and then now it's more the statue is glowing or something like that. I can't remember how it worked. Uh, it was something like the statue was glowing. I was like, okay, I've done something here. Now I gotta go around the world and like find the remaining temples because they weren't just like circled around in one place. They were scattered around the
Mm-hmm.
place.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Yeah.
Someone
So they actually
asked.
had you
Wait.
exploring the world while doing that basically side quest.
Mm-hmm. And someone just asked, also, is the setting supposed to be a post-apocalyptic? Some characters doesn't feel like living in a post-apocalyptic world at all. Yep. That's gonna segue into our
Yeah.
next point. The world is character design and
design.
how like they fit with the world. Yep, it's not consistent at all, bro. That's what I be saying, bro. I whether these
You can name four
characters design,
games.
whether these character designs are good or not, that's a whole different matter. But when it comes to consistency, I'm pretty sure that everyone can agree that these characters don't look like they fit with each other. They don't even fit with the world itself. Some do, but then a lot of them don't. Some of them do. Like let's say Kalchar or like Kakarot, right? He looks really cool,
Kakarot.
and he does look like he could fit in the world with how militaristic and then apocalyptic it is, right? But then you look at someone like Jansi and then Anko, right? It I mean the character design is good in my opinion, but they don't feel like they live in this apocalyptic world, you know? It just doesn't feel
Yeah.
consistent.
I feel like the threat of post-apocalyptic isn't really there anymore.
Yeah. Even when you look at the world, you can see that it's not like it's weird. You have
Mm,
like different areas, but then these different areas have like these different time periods to them. You see like
yeah.
around the biker boss, right? You see that it's like a rundown city. But then you go around to
Yeah.
different areas. It's like a desert with no buildings at all. So like was just one area in the world that developed to like city level, and then the other one just stick to like sticks and stones. Like what? Keep it consistent
hmm
throughout the entire universe, bro.
Yeah. Like it's supposed to be post-apocalyptic. There should be more rundown buildings around the place, especially with the technology the
Mm,
world of Wuthering had. Easily should have implemented it. In fact, CBT1 had a whole extra area where there's more rundown buildings. There's the
yeah,
underground metro. Was that even in CBT2? I can't even remember.
it's not there. Like it's gone. I remember that area as well. It's like a full on city. It's like a full on city.
Yeah,
You see
full
like
on city.
skyscrapers and shit like that. The only problem that I had with that area was that the scaling was just wrong, and that's it. I feel like they should have kept
Yeah.
it. It's just that the scaling was wrong, like the door being way too big and shit like that. But it's just
Yeah.
something that they can change it. But now they completely
hmm
removed it for some reason, and it just lost so much of the magic of that place, bro.
Yeah, it feels Wuthering right now feels more of a, I guess,
Fantasy or
generic,
something.
not yeah,
Yeah,
generic fantasy
generic fantasy.
rather than a post-apocalyptic.
If
Even
they,
though they really could have just balanced it out. Okay, we got areas that are supposed to be alive, right? Like the main city.
mm,
You can make that bright, saturated, all you
yep,
want, vibrant. Okay, now we go to the more deserted areas.
mm,
The areas kind of like near Mecca, Abomination. You can see like it's toned down a bit more. Like it's more muted, low saturated, and a lot of rainy weather into in combination with that. So yeah, in terms of environments,
it feels
they're really lacking. I
inconsistent.
can't lie.
Yeah, it's lacking
I'm
and
just disappointed.
it's lacking
Like
and it's
this,
inconsistent.
so cool. I could bring it up right now. Concept art cooked so hard, especially like the opening area where it's basically a tacit field. You see the aura going up into the sky, the floating rocks. Where is that?
They have
in
wait,
the game.
they have concept arts already.
Yeah, like from Texas era.
Really?
They had
Wait,
like
wait,
a craft one. You didn't
wait.
know?
Wait, no, hold on. Are we
Let
talking
me
about
send
Wuthering
some.
Waves? No, no. Are we talking
Yeah,
about?
Wuthering.
Oh, really? Yeah, show me.
Yeah, yeah. Let me send some. YouTube vids. Wuthering pictures, concept art. So we got. Oh yeah, what happened to Black Shores? Yeah, I'm sending right now. Give me 2 seconds to find. Okay, sent. Oh, one's a different file type.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. This is
yeah.
these.
So like that.
Yeah, let me pull up the pic.
Yeah, what happened to this place, Black Shores? Never to be seen again. It was in CBT one. You could glitch into it. CBT two, I don't think it was there at
Mm,
all in the game. Then you see how like magnificent the original splash screen of the game was.
yeah, we need to include something like that. Hold up. Let me find a way to bring it up on the stream. Hold up.
Yeah, I'll try to bring it up on mine too. Let me find the files. Oh, hi.
Got it.
So stream, I think you can see this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to bring up something like that. Yeah, that looks interesting because
Mhm.
it like you can tell from like the time period, like where the world is at. You can see this building and like it's not fantasy, but it's like semi realistic.
Yeah. And also, while we're talking about like the environment or like the aesthetics, let's talk about the assassination of some of these areas, right?
For real.
Morning Ike's, the difference between CBT one's version and CBT two is so like it's so jarring. It's crazy. Let me try find a picture that I could do a comparison of. I have to Saxor. I'll pull that up real quick. Because before we actually had used to have waves in the sky. Now it's more of like a force field type of thing. Uh, yeah, I'll just take it from here.
A lot of these changes are also big stuff as well. So you can't
Hmm.
really tell them to change it back because as we already know, they are very near
Yeah,
the release date as well. There's no way for
yeah, this
this
is finalized at this point.
pretty
Well, you
much.
might as well just talk
Damn.
about it.
The assassination of the world design in PGR. The game
That's a
has
whole
lost
video title. That's a video
real,
essay right there.
real. Like everything just lost its characteristics. Now you can't really
Yeah.
tell. You can't really look at an area and then instantly think, "Yep, that's Wuthering Waves" anymore. You just look at it
Hmm.
and then you just think of a generic anime game. It's sad. Like you
Honestly,
could,
with the Morning Ike's area, they just made it more simpler.
yeah,
Let me find
you could
picture
show
CBT1's version.
you could show someone a picture of like the game right now, and then someone is gonna say that it's from like Guilty Gear or some shit like that, bro.
Yeah. Like the water is watering, bro, in CBT1. The water is more detailed. The whole area is aesthetically like better or more pleasing to me.
Wow. And that's
This
probably
one in CBT2 is more like a hue. Okay. Oh yeah, let me put it on stream so you guys can see too. Hold on. Let me not leave you
Wait.
out.
Imagine if they made all these downgrades because they were trying to optimize the game. Imagine.
The game ran better in CBT1.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the second season. I mean, it's a bigger game now, so it's a big.
It's I would say it's a bigger game now, and I say with the way game industry is working right now, they're more like changing the way they render games, right? So now they do more upscaling rather than native rendering. So they expect you to be using DLSS tree, frame generation, AMD FSR, all that. That could also be why.
Yeah, the optimization in this beta is like all over the place. I don't
It's
know why.
horrendous. Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing, but back on day
Honestly,
one,
it ran better day one.
yeah, on day one, I remember that it was like, they had a
120
feature.
FPS?
Yep, they allowed us to actually run a game at 120 FPS. The problem with that, my system was thermal throttling as well. Well, not thermal throttling, but it was running hot as hell. I remember my GPU reaching around 80 plus, which is whatever, but the game was still running fine. It still hit 100 and 120 FPS just fine. It was just running a little bit hot. That's just fine.
Yeah.
But then a few days later, they just released a patch that kept the game at 60 FPS, and then everything just went to shit. Like you were seeing frame stuttering all over the place.
Yeah, it
Like,
was crazy.
It has to be intentional or something.
And then the input lag was like much higher, in my opinion. The only way to reduce the input lag even more is if you want to turn off basically DLSS tree, which is the frame generation, and then turn on, NVIDIA on plus boost for reflex. That's the only way to make the input lag with your mouse more acceptable. Yeah.
I don't. Water. Did anyone say anything about like the mobile version side? Was it also the same thing on the mobile
version side? I didn't have. My opinions on the mobile side is like heavily skewed, right? Since I'm running the most overkill device with the game, so either way, I was running the game completely fine at 120 FPS ultra settings. In fact, I could say they could push the graphics on mobile a lot more, to be honest. Like, it's fine now, but they could low-key be reaching a little bit closer to like PC's medium on mobile if they really wanted to, as like the ultra setting.
Which device did you say you were saying?
iPad Pro second
iPad
generation.
Pro second.
So it's M2, which is basically what they put into their laptops or the Apple Vision Pro. So it's very overkill.
What about the community?
Frame drops.
Did they say anything about thermals and anything like that?
Oh, thermals. I was running fine. Like, it never overheated. It's never getting that hot like Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail would do to like a device. Because I know HSR and Genshin just runs terrible. Not terribly, but they're not. Their 120 FPS is never 120 FPS. This game, 120 FPS was actually like locked in. And
Damn, that's actually just poor optimization on the PC side. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I guess for most people, you'll still need a very recent device to play it optimally, Wuthering Waves. Oh yeah, the mobile button placement is so awkward, and then the fact that you can't use controller to this day on PC side and mobile, It's crazy. I know it's gonna be at launch. They're gonna have it, but I don't think it's that hard to code in. No.
I don't think it is. It's kind of like changing.
Especially with
It's like
Unreal
changing the
Engine.
key map. It's like changing the
Yeah.
key button on your PC as well. It's just like a few buttons of coding. I'm not sure.
Especially with them working with Unreal Engine 4. It's probably a built-in thing already inside the engine. Just haven't enabled it, maybe.
Small indie company, can't expect much.
Yeah. Now, controller thing, you can't actually use it. Oh, the game shows. Yeah, actually, I remember. It was Tokyo? No, I think it was Tokyo, or it was IGN playing. They were using a controller. Yeah, Crew was awkward for not enabling it.
That's already the world. What else do we need? Gacha?
Gacha?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. 80 pity. That is insane. Let me just get that out.
50-50.
Not 80, as in like 80 for characters and then 80 for weapon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is
80,
insane.
50.
80 for characters? Like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's the gacha
160
game.
for 160 for
Yeah.
characters and 80 for weapon.
So 80 for weapon as well. It is crazy. And also the weapon is also like 50-50, right?
No, it's 100% guaranteed.
Okay. Okay, yeah, but still, that is still horrendous.
If it was 50-50, that would be crazy.
Yep. But it is still horrendous.
I would say they could reduce the weapon pity by like a lot more. Just make it like 60.
Yep.
60, fine spot. You get your money. I mean, you're already sacrificing a lot from the last version of it. But yeah, 60 pity would have been good for weapon. 100% nice. Characters. I'll always say it, 50-50 will suck no matter what. You can spend $100 and not get what you want.
What makes it... Wait. Gotcha. Wait, what was I trying to say? Shit, I forgot. Give me a second. Just keep continuing.
Okay, so with the gacha, there's 3 currencies with it this time. Similar to PGR. There's the standard currency, which you can use for the standard weapons, standard characters pool of standard banners. Then there's the limited weapon and limited character currencies. I don't know why Kuro likes to keep doing this. It's such an awkward system, especially if you can easily like buy the wrong one. So hypothetically, they make packs for the game, similar to PGR. I've had experiences in PGR where I've just accidentally bought the wrong pack just because the currency looked pretty much the same.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, so I contact customer service and they're like, "Nuh-uh, we can't refund it."
Nah.
So you just take the L and then you have to spend again and double dip.
Oh yeah.
So not only can't you not save the pull currencies for like limited characters for the weapons. Say hypothetically you have some left over after the game. You have to like use a completely different currency, which you can't even convert it over to, which will always suck too as well. It's unnecessary completely.
Oh yeah.
It's just for double dipping on like when they drop packs, you buy the wrong one. Oh, sorry, you gotta have to buy it again, the actual proper one.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was trying to say. They could make it better by just being a whole lot more generous with the game. Because right now the rate of acquisition is just dog shit, bro. At the start.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked the rate. What is it? 0.6?
No, I mean like the rate of acquiring your gems. It is ass. At the start, you're gonna get a lot of, obviously. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be getting a lot as well, because if we take out all of the beta pulls in the mail, right? If we take out all of them, I don't think we got a lot of them, honestly. I feel like the majority of the pulls that we got were from the beta.
Really?
The beta, yeah. I think that We got a lot from the beta rewards.
Day at some point.
I'm pretty sure that we got like 70% of my total pulls were from the mails alone, and the other 30, which is me farming and then opening chest. But it's
I know
really
50
suck ass.
pulls were basically guaranteed, just so you could get your first 5-star. But at this point, it's like, yo, okay, you're getting your first standard 5-star. Just let us like select it, like PGR, where they just gave you the selector. In fact, you could just add a currency where it's like, okay, you have to buy the selector, and then boom, you get to choose your 5-star that you want. Or they could keep it the same way, and like similar to like Blue Archive or something like that.
Yeah.
You could keep re-rolling for what you want.
Yeah, they need
this game.
They need to be more generous, like Blue Archive, unironically, bro. For Blue Archive, when you're doing the story, for every note of the cutscene that you're doing, you're getting like one third worth of a pull. And there's like 26 notes. There are like more than 20 of them. So 1/3 times 20. That is more than enough for you to easily get like 110 pull. But in Wuthering Waves, it's a whole lot different. You're gonna be getting a lot of gems early on, but then later on, when you're finished with all of the stories and then you're done opening up all of the chests, it really starts slowing down. It really starts slowing down. I really felt that during my 3rd week of playing. I was not getting that many pulls anymore.
Completely.
Yeah, and you want me
then if you get a duplicate, it feels terrible sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Now I'm stuck with these characters for the rest of the game until I can somehow manage to get more pulls.
Yeah, 80 pulls. 80 pulls. That is a lot. That is a lot considering the rate that we're getting them at. And not only that, the only mode that is permanent and then that you can farm is Tower of Adversity. But even then, that thing is whale as hell. That thing you have to whale as hell. There's no way.
It's literally built for whales, or not even just whales. It's literally built for, you have to get the on-rate character.
Yeah.
At the moment. For this beta, it's specifically for Anke, Gion, and Yinlin.
And no one is gonna be able to even like fully clear it as well.
Yeah.
For the first few months at least.
I was only able to clear the left side. The right side I could technically clear it on paper if Kuro didn't decide to make in that game right now, because he's always like up in the air for whatever reason against the walls, and it's annoying. So I was like, yesterday when I was streaming it, I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. This shit is not worth my time.
Bro.
Because okay, I do all the necessary stuff to fight him. Now, all I gotta do is attack him. But bro's always 20 feet in the air for whatever.
Yeah, it's like bugged.
And the problem with this game is the hitboxes go infinitely up and infinitely down. So you're gonna get hit even if he's like all the way 30 foot in the air flying and stuff. It's just bad coding, I can't lie, with the hitboxes.
Yeah, just bad coding and then just bad hitbox implementation. A lot of the attacks, like the hitbox of the enemy, just gets wild when our characters hit them. It's like whenever we hit them, there's this like effect that stops them, that momentarily stops them for like a little bit. It's only for a little bit, but with characters that have like a multi-hit attack, right, it starts to get added up, and then it actually throws off your timing a lot. Like when you're not attacking them, right, it's gonna take about half a second for an attack to come out. But when you actually attack them, the attacks is gonna take about 0.75 seconds to come out. It's like 1/4 of a second, but it's gonna throw your timing off a lot. And then you have to remember in holograms, in holograms, right? In later stages, it is basically a one hit kill if you're not careful.
No, every stage is one hit kill.
Yeah.
By the way, everything is one hit kill,
That's
and then
crazy.
combined with the what was it? Combined with the delay that's given on top of like when you do your skills or attacks, that disrupts like the gameplay flow. If you have, I know you didn't play Rover too much, but if you had Rover on top with time stop, it completely throws you off so badly. There's so many deaths where I pretty much like the gameplay with time stop. It throws me off like completely. It's not like Matrix. So the enemy's still slightly moving.
Oh yeah.
So it's technically not time stop, but yeah.
Like the
And it just throws your whole timing off, and it's like, okay, you have 0.001 second to react right now.
Like during the time stop, the hitboxes are still going off, right? It's just that it's being slowed down. So if you touch it, you still get hit by it, right?
And it's much wider this time since it's slowly moving.
That's crazy.
I feel like time stop feels inconsistent on like how much time it's stopping. I think it's a bug because sometimes it lasts like way longer than you really think it is.
Are you talking about the time stop for Rover?
Yeah.
I've never played with Rover much, so I haven't experienced it yet. Thankfully.
Yeah, your Rover's level 20.
I'm already modding from just like the basic characters hitting the bosses alone. Imagine how worse it's gonna be with Rover for me.
Like Rover, I like how I'm getting bored of her gameplay only because I played her too much. Low-key, she is one of the alright ones, I guess, in the game. Then what else about? Oh yeah, Tower of Adversity. They did make some good changes, and they made a lot of bad changes with it. First one, the limited time objectives. That, as we said before, completely it's how much investment you have, or if you wailed, or if you have the limited characters of that banner.
I feel like they could be a little bit more friendly with the Tower of Adversity rewards as well. I think that they should make it so that as long as you complete it, you're gonna get a set amount of gems, and then they could make it so that if you clear it quicker by like 2 or 1 minute, you're gonna get a little bit more gems, or maybe a little bit more farming materials or something like that. Because right now
there's actually a currency for Tower of Adversity. It's the same as hologram, so they could just technically be like, there's a base rate where they give you like 200 of the blue triangles, right? And then you could just spend it in that store and buy some, you could buy some gems, buy some echoes, buy some materials. That stuff, nice. And it refreshes like every 2 weeks, I think. Well, it's supposed to refresh in like every 2 weeks. In this beta, it was just infinite. But yeah,
just
and then
because right now it's just like so hard, really difficult to clear, and then it's like incentivizes you to actually pay, like to swipe, because you definitely need really, really geared up characters to fully clear it. And then given how dog shit the progression system in the game right now is, you won't be able to fully clear it. For the first 2 months at least. For the first 2 months, even with swiping.
As a regular player, definitely next 2-3 months, most likely, if you're not refreshing. Like
and you're gonna be so that 2 to 3 months that you're missing out, bro. That is a lot of gems that you're missing. Almost like that's like missing out on 30 pulls. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of them.
And not only that, is like by that 2 to 3 months, you'll just be able to clear. You're not going to be able to get the actual like objectives down. I also feel like they could have made it more skill based. Like you see with hologram, they did an excellent job to make it more skill-based difficulty.
Hmm.
Tower of Adversity, it's more artificial.
Yeah,
So,
just
higher
punching bags.
HPs,
Just punching bags.
literally.
That's it. Nothing else.
They don't add no weather effects from tacit fields, none of that. Tacit fields are are designed better than some of
Real?
these stages inside the Tower of Adversity. Especially with the enemies they have inside of Tower of Adversity. They don't even have like much enemy density most of the time. It's usually like 3 to 4 enemies. Then maybe a boss.
If they make it a little bit more friendly, like PGR, it would be so much better. Because in PGR, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're a spender or like a normal free to play. As long as you participate in the mode, you're all gonna be getting the same amount. That's it. Just make it like that, so everyone will be more enticed to actually play it and won't be as frustrated to play it.
Yeah. And then combined with that, I think Norman's a good example of like how you can balance the difficulty for multiple type of investments of players. So even the whales with Triple S and stuff, they could have like a somewhat challenging time in Norman if you keep all the buffs on. And then if you're low spender, free to play, you could just go disable most of the buffs by like playing extra stages, which also increases player time. So, you know, Kuro, take notes.
Yeah.
It increases your player metrics. What else about Tower of Adversity that annoys me? Let's see. I guess is general like the bugginess of like, okay, some of the floors are elevated a little bit higher than the others. So then sometimes there's like a bug where you're pretty much locked in, and it pretty much ruins your whole run 90% of the time.
I remember fighting Tempest in Tower, and he just keeps on teleporting up in the air for some reason,
Yes.
bro. Annoying as. Get your
That's
ass
the
down
issue I
here.
was talking about.
Bro thinks
And
he's the
then-
avatar. Bro thinks he's the avatar. He's fucking lightning element, and he's just levitating.
Airbender, bro.
Get your ass
Thinks he's
down.
Azula. But yeah, he needs to get his ass down. And number 2 is they kind of reuse the same bosses in Tower a little bit much. So they're using Thundering Memphis and what was his name? Thundering Memphis and I think it was Morning Axe for the first the safety layer, which was fine. Then the actual hazard zone, they used Thundering Memphis again, and they used Thundering Memphis again. And then they used the gorilla, and then they used the gorilla again.
They've been using the same bar.
Yeah. And it's not as if it's like the hologram version where they actually have different movesets. The movesets for the monkey is the same as CT1. Pretty much. They copy pasted that version of it.
What else? So we got gameplay. No, we already talked about gameplay.
Oh, okay. We can talk about. There's multiple things we can talk about. For example, the weekly and daily like progression. So you know our daily commission and our daily missions. We could also talk about like the weekly loop, which is non-existent. So okay, for weeklies, the weekly loop in this game is obviously similar to the min picking game. So you need to do your weekly bosses each week for weekly materials. Scar, you need to use 60 of the premium stamina. Honestly, with me, you're already time gating the weekly materials and the amount of times you can challenge it. Per week.
Yeah.
Like once a week, you shouldn't be charging stamina for it. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, and then you can only get like one mat from each of them. And then a bunch of skill already use it. already used one of
Yeah.
the mat to level up one time, bro. Only to level up one time. That is crazy, bro. How long do they expect us to grind for these characters for?
In fact, at my level, at level 40, they dropped 2 this time.
Okay, that's
Still, even with 2,
yeah.
2 is
Still
still
ass.
tragic.
2 per week
'Cause-
is ass.
Let me
That's
find
like 2 levels per week. 2 levels per week. So how many levels can we get for the characters?
it. 1 second. Okay. Wait, shit. Like, you can take it over for now. Like, I'm just searching
Yeah.
for the Discord message.
Because
so I
if
can have it
it,
constructed.
because if it's like 10 levels max, right? And then it's gonna cost about assumingly 1 each for per level, right? So it's gonna take about 5 months of 10 months of no 5 months 5 months of grinding. No, 5 weeks of
Okay,
grinding.
I found it.
5 weeks of grinding
I found it.
just to max a 1 character level.
5 weeks? Nah, I guess again, my brother.
How many?
It's worse. Okay, I didn't calculate the exact weeks, but I kind of calculated how much you need in general. So, on the low end, you need 26 weekly mats for a whole character to be maxed.
Ooh.
That is the best case scenario,
Ooh.
by the way. The worst case scenario, we have like 36. Because hypothetically, we could have there's your 5 basics, 5 skills, right? Your basic attacks, your resonance skill, your resonance liberation, your core forte, and your intro skill. Those all need weekly materials after you get to character essential like 5. So the order could be like 1, 1, 2, where it needs 1 material for the first one, 1 material for level 7, I think, and then 1 material for level 8, and for level 9, it could be 2 materials. Or it could be 1, 2, 2, which would make it 31 a week. Or it could be 1, 2, 3, which could make it 36 weekly materials a week. We're pretty fucked in this area. Honestly, it's the most egregious part of the game that will not be talked about much because a lot of people have dropped the beta long before that.
People are not having problem with the game because people are not fucking playing the game to begin with. Bro.
Exactly.
Bro. Is this how it works at Kuru office? Just in order to make people not have any problems with the game, just make it so that they don't fucking play the game to begin with. Bro, is this how they want to appeal to the investors, bro? Yo, look at how good the game is running right now. No one is making any complaints at all, bro. No, just don't worry about the player count. Don't worry about that.
I think Genshin set the example of like a brilliant way of like, okay, nobody knows how the rewards were like for AR 55, 56, 57, 60 until a year later. So then they saw this shit is dog shit. But nobody can complain about it at that point because it's like set in stone.
Damn.
So, a lot of the egregious stuff will reveal itself later on. Right now, they're gonna show you like the more pretty stuff, or like, okay, there's issues here and there. We can totally fix that. But the stuff that we really want to stay, we're gonna keep it to the later levels, level 40 plus, and then we'll show our true colors a little bit.
They made a mistake. They made a mistake of showing it too early and not just keeping it later down the line like Genshin did.
But honestly, I don't think much complaints will come since not many people get there.
Not many people get there, and then the bar is also way too low for a lot of people as well. Well, I think I'm not Blanc. I think I'm not playing this game. I will be honest. Real with you, bro.
You can probably play it, but it really depends. For me at least, how much money I put into this game depends on like how CBT3 goes or how release goes. If the same bullshit is there, then I'm gonna be F2P. I'm gonna clear all the content and laugh at others.
If it's gonna be
That's about it.
if it's gonna be the same thing, I tell us we just drop the game. Honestly,
Yeah, at a certain point, maybe.
it is way too mentally taxing to play this game, bro. Like I said, even if it is only like beta, right? It is only beta. There's a lot to be fixed. There's a lot to be fixed and improved. But even then, how the fuck is the game so bad that it got me wanting to drop the game after 2 weeks of playing? As a live
2 weeks, I wanted to drop it so bad, but I
Real.
was like, okay, I gotta stand on business and actually play the game and expose like how dog shit some of the systems are.
That's the only thing driving me forward, bro. But for like a normal player, Jesus, bro, imagine.
Normal player, but you're not content creator, not no real motion, I guess, online or something like that. I don't know, but like, yeah, if you're not content creator or someone who wants to make tweets about it or pretty much theory craft or whatever, a lot of y'all are gonna ignore it or drop the game. Yeah.
Well, not even a game, it's a beta test. I highly doubt. It's a beta that is very much close to the late.
Most of these tests are just to find either bugs, not really bugs constructively, or just to widely test like the performance of the game on like multiple systems, and then test their own servers as well.
I would
like how they can handle stuff.
I would agree with this guy saying that it's just a closed beta test. If it weren't for the fact that they already opened up the top-up system in the Chinese server. If this is only
could make the argument of like something like PUBG was in beta for like how long and had like monetization for like a good while.
Yeah, then it would make sense. But nah, this is different. If this is only a beta and it's for only test purposes, why did they open up the top-up system, huh? Why?
Yeah.
With them opening up the top-up system means that they are in the position where they think or they believe that they have a good enough product for people to spending money on. So using the argument that it's just a closed beta is not valid.
In my opinion, strike when the iron is hot. Just because you're saying, oh, it's just a beta test, and then people don't complain because it's like, oh, it's just a beta test. Then you end up with it in the game, and you're like, oh, okay, why did the beta testers complain about XYZ, all this other stuff? Why didn't people complain when they had the chance to actually like give constructive criticism about it? But people are like, oh, it's just a beta. Oh, it's just a beta. Oh, it'll be fixed in the game.
Maximum coping.
Yeah, it's cope. You gotta call out a spade.
Real.
Pretty much.
Because in Wuthering Waves specifically as well, you can very much tell what the direction for the game is, what the overall direction for the game is going, honestly.
Yeah.
So you really need to voice all of these things out immediately. If we don't, they're gonna get really comfortable with scummy shit like this when the game actually releases.
Like you see how the mid-picking company has disciplined their fan base to the point where not even the bare minimum will get them hype.
Shit, that's probably what PGR is trying right now. Just make the game so dog shit that when they actually do the bare minimum, we're gonna be happy for it, bro. Imagine, bro.
Well, for PGR at least, they have like I guess certain standards that they're not gonna compromise on. But in terms of like the newer characters, in terms of gameplay, a lot of these new A ranks, man, they've been way more interesting.
Real.
Like, I've yet to try Bridget, but I've seen some cool. Okay. Oh yeah, daily commissions, I'd say. That's an improvement over CBT1. Kind of respects your time a little bit more, but I would like more diversity in the amount of missions you could do to like clear the whole gauge. Because some of them are awkward. We're like, okay, you gotta beat the weekly boss for whatever reason again, and then you also gotta beat like an overworld boss, which you'll usually be doing since you'll be farming echoes every day. And Yeah, it's usually awkward to get that last 20 EXP for the full daily commission.
I think it's pretty quick though, isn't it? Because I remember that
Yeah,
there's
it's pretty
like
quick in general,
there's like that one big
depending on like what you roll today.
there's like that one big
But sometimes
mission
it could be like,
for 40.
yeah, sometimes you could be like, okay, you have to craft this, or you have to use synthesize that,
Oh yeah, that's
or you have to
pretty
tune an
tedious.
echo. Yeah,
Honestly, a lot of it could also be fixed with just quality of life, like the crafting stuff. Just make it so that you can actually craft in your inventory.
yeah, literally that.
Though I like that some of the missions are like actually fun. Well, not fun, but more like interesting, I guess. Some of the missions.
Yeah, like
There's
the 2D scroller, 2D platformer.
No, I mean like the daily mission. Some of them are just
Oh,
like
daily
you.
missions.
Some of them are like where you just walk around and then talk to people. That's pretty solid, and they actually have some small semblance of interesting plot to it as well, because there's like this
Yeah,
storyline where you just walk up to this guy and he tells you like stories. It's pretty simple and it's straightforward. So yeah, I like that, but I don't know how long they're gonna be able to keep it up, bro. Because it's a daily thing, right? It's a daily mission. Don't know how many of them
Yeah.
they got in store.
I guess the only like beneficial factor for that is skip button. Skip button can ease that a lot, which I use it for 99% of these quests, since they are very simple and streamlined. I guess after daily commissions, we could talk about the events. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
hardcore events. The most
Man.
disappointing thing I've ever
Real.
witnessed.
Just push one button.
I was thinking Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I was like,
Real.
okay, maybe we can have some wall running like Black Ops 3
Yeah.
Titanfall 2. Because the system is in place. The foundation is there. They didn't do any of that. It was some simple Sonic, what was it? I wouldn't even compare it to Sonic because Sonic's one's actually like smooth. It's similar to Sonic Frontiers, right? Where random platforms appear in the sky.
Uh-huh.
Just follow the lead ground. Yeah, it's not it at all. It was super disappointing. I understand that it's like very basic for new players can adjust to the system of like grappling, the movement, wall running,
But,
wall climbing, all that. But nah, man.
This is so simple that even a child can complete it, bro. It is literally just you pressing forward the entire time. Like whenever you
Yeah.
step on a platform that lifts you up, right? The camera itself literally locks itself
so
and then guides
buggy.
you.
Yeah.
It guides you.
Mhm.
It is
It
so
guides you and it's
simple, bro.
90% buggy. Yeah.
They are literally handholding you the entire time. Like what's even the point of me doing the event anymore?
Yeah. And then that was genuinely so disappointing. I was like,
Even the
Damn,
reward,
bro.
even the reward is ass as hell. It's not even enough for like 110 pull. No way,
yeah,
bro.
in total it's like what? 1.5 pulls? Yeah. It was around 360 Tacitite or something like that. Then the good event though is the roguelike one. I like to see it more expanded upon. It's
Damn.
pretty much like Cursed Wave in Wuthering.
Problem is, I didn't get to experience it because for some
Because
fucking reason they limit the amount of characters that you can use it in to only around 3 to 4 characters for some fucking
Literally, it's
reason.
3 characters.
That is
Baiji,
crazy.
Tauchi, and Rover. Baiji
Who?
and Tauchi, I didn't have her leveled up enough
But
to do it.
the problem is both are fucking healers and supporters. Like what the fuck? Only one of them is actually only one of them is an actual DPSer and it's Rover. But I didn't
Yeah.
fucking level him up. Are you fucking kidding me?
The only solution, which they obviously should have thought of, is like, okay, we could give them a trial character version too as well. Just
Yeah.
in case they don't have it leveled up. But no, we don't do that.
Bare minimum in my Wuthering Waves games? Nah, get that out of here.
See, with the changes in Wuthering, I feel like it's either a priority issue or they really just haven't played the game. It's either those two.
Like, bro, no way. no way that they don't have at least one person whose job is to play test the game in the office. There is no way there are that budget restraint.
But aside from that, the experience in that mode was like really fun. Sure it's easier, I guess, and you're usually overpowered once you actually like stack your buffs, make a proper build. It's like fun overpowered, if you get me, where you can spam your ult is more enhanced. So for Rover's example, you could be throwing out like 3 of the three of the spinning blades each time, and just be spamming a lot of the stuff. So it's like good fun. And then you have the boss fight, which I would like them to tune it a bit better, because you have to use the transformed version of like Crownless or the Echo in question to do actual proper damage to them most of the time, instead of like being able to dynamically, okay, I could use my Echo if I want to transform into Crownless properly, or I could like play normally. If you play normally, you're gonna kind of get punished for your lack of DPS, I guess.
Damn.
So like the Echoes are like buffed as hell, and a lot different gameplay mechanics with the fully realized Crownless transformation, which is pretty cool.
Imagine if I was actually able to participate in it.
Play it.
Imagine, bro. Imagine if.
Also, since we covered that topic, I guess we can cover co-op. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Or the lack of anything to do.
Basically no point.
Yes.
Besides echo farming.
Yeah. And even with that, it's like, it's high, I guess. Low-key, I do feel like the rates are much higher once you do it in co-op. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad placebo effect from that one time where I was just lucky as hell in someone else's world.
Probably. But like, there's no point like doing like the puzzles, right? There's just no point for you to be doing it
You
in
can't
co-op.
interact with it at all.
Yeah.
Can't interact with weighted puzzles. Can't interact with hologram. Can't interact with any activity. Bosses are unfun because they need to be easy to farm. 0 point to playing it.
You can't even do quests. You can't even do quests together or anything like that. There's nothing that
you
you
even finish
can
your
do.
daily commissions.
Yeah, like even that you cannot do. Like what? Like what do you want us to do with each other, bro? Just go around picking up flowers, huh? Just going around picking up flowers and mining.
Is
mining
it going
ores.
full circle? We're gonna become min pickers.
It's like entropy,
This
bro.
was truly our Wuthering waves.
It's like entropy. Everything falls back to mint picking. It unironically as well, because a lot of the characters actually requires you to have like a lot of the flowers as well. So you really do need to hop on other people's game and then pick their flowers. Like what?
Yeah.
Encore.
And the issue with that is like, Encore is the best case scenario. I was suffering too.
She took like 12 fucking flowers just to ascend one. Bro, what? Nah.
Shit is tragic.
Shit.
And then, and then the problem with that is, I don't see why they do something like that, because in the long term, you're gonna have to beat the whole of Wuthering Waves just to level up a character that you recently got and you're a new player. I don't I don't know what's wrong with them with that. They could have just sticked with like a normal leveling system like in PGR or in any other game, but they decided, okay, we gotta make you pick flowers of certain places just for you to ascend characters. So whenever, I don't even know what like the road-ish map of like the areas we're gonna be at, but pretty much in like 6, 5, or 3 years time, get a new character, you're brand new to the game. Oh, now I have to beat like the whole game just to level them up to like
Bro,
50.
good game design in my game. Nah, get out of here. They
Exactly.
be making every single decision that be making me wanting to quit the game instead of actually wanting to continue the game. Like, what are these guys
Exactly.
doing?
They're trying so hard for us not to play the game so badly.
This has to be intentional. Like they are intentionally making the game
Oh, it's
bad
1000% intentional.
so that no, they're intentionally making the game bad so that the investors will lose money. Like there must be something personal going on in the office right now. Like they want to make the game bad so that the investors will not make any money. This has to be it, bro. I refuse to believe that someone could make a game that is as horrendous as it is right now, or like making a beta as bad as it is right now, because it's not like
Yeah.
the first CBT was horrendously bad and this one was like just slightly less bad. Nah, the first CBT was like pretty alright. It was just like good, not good, but it was just like alright. Some
I was like,
changes.
the foundations there. The
Yeah.
foundations there. Economy was the main issues of CBT1. That was like the only thing that really needed uplift. And then I guess you could do your typical, doing
Yeah.
your job, graphical uplift with the game.
Yep.
More diverse puzzles, which they did. Yeah, pluses right there.
Just more updates and then more
3 steps backward
quality
this
of
time.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything should be fine, but then the fuck, they just took 10 steps back for the second CBT, so it just made no sense to me. This shit has to be intentional. They legit did this just to mess with the investors. They legit had to do it.
Shit, it's the investors most likely giving these orders, because I'm like, there's no rational gamer reason why you
Real.
have this. Like, I hope they're playing for passion sometimes, but it's obvious they're not.
Music? Just alright, I guess.
Oh, music. Music is really good, but I feel like we need that one song. You get me? Like Peacher has that one song where it pretty much set the motif of the game. Wuthering kind of just lacks that. Wuthering lacks Wuthering. That's what I say.
We could argue that Crownless is their like that
Crownless
one
is the
song.
poster boy.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. They butchered him.
bro, his hologram must be like the greatest comeback of mankind, if not for the disrespect he got. Yeah, in terms of the motif, there isn't really like a consistent theme in like at least one or two of the songs. Then what was it? Flow. We haven't seen Flow since the technical test.
They benched it.
What is up
What
with
the
that?
fuck? They benched it. Nah.
They benched it, and then they had a Lamia remix actually before the actual proper Lamia remix that they benched too.
Shit. Anything else, guys? I think that should be just about everything that we have.
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, stamina system. We could talk about like general quality of life. That's about it. So stamina system. They should add. What is it? It should recharge all in 24 hours. I don't know why they do the nonsense where it takes like 26, 28 hours for it to be fully recharged. And then they could implement a system. I heard Star Rail had a system where it overflows, where you can keep like a lot more than you actually have. Yeah. So they could add something like that. That makes it more beneficial for you, especially if like you don't play daily. You can literally have a week's worth of stamina saved up. And
maybe adding just like one
the
cube.
cost of stuff is a bit too much.
Just add one.
Not a bit too much. It's a lot much.
Add in one stamina refill every day, and it should alleviate some of that.
Yeah, and then we could add for like the farming stages, the typical, stuff like PGR where you can add a set amount of like how many times you're gonna farm it. You're gonna get a set amount of waves, and yeah,
I think
instead of pressing the thingy and then
I think they will add it.
again.
I think they will add it, but just later down the line because they want to increase that play time as much as possible, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a fuck it, we ball for now, and then we'll fix it later. And then they'll praise us first for it. Yeah.
I think that should be everything we have to cover.
A lot of it's gonna come later, after launch, most likely.
Yeah, everything else is just like small quality of life stuff that they could just add in slowly.
Yeah. And I guess for like features that will come later on in the game is stuff like guild. I think guild was mentioned.
Really?
Yeah, one time. Yeah. Guild was mentioned in some kind of interview, like way back. I think it was like Texas era. So that's probably a thing that's gonna come after launch. Like I say a good while after. How much they're gonna expand upon it, we don't know. And then obviously they want to add some kind of housing system to be
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
I do feel like as for like casual content, there isn't much to do for normal players, so
Besides running
That's the
around
thing.
and picking flowers.
yeah. In terms of like shinies literally could be like the next end game for like casual players at least. Just to flex, catch them all,
yeah.
type of thing. Even so, I'd want to flex my own shinies that I got if the stats are proper. So I suggest they add some kind of way to like migrate an existing Echo that's the non-shiny version with good stats to the shiny version. Or just make it a cosmetic skin. Wait, after you obtain it. No, that one won't be it. But yeah, pretty much shiny. Just make it roll better stats, I guess. Make it more weighted.
Anything else? I think that should be all. If nothing else, I think
Yeah.
we can end the stream today.
And then I guess the last thing is the weekly loop in the game is god awful.
Yeah.
Which we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only remedy for that is add a mode that's like competitive or kind of grindable in a way. Just grindable for like your own sake, not for like currency. So something similar to Warzone would alleviate that. Some ladder system, yeah. And I guess we're pretty much done with the live discussion. Any questions you guys want to ask? That's what we'll do. Yeah.
Yeah. Would they add PGR packs with BC and some limited time items to the game? I don't know. Probably they would definitely add in some
yeah.
packs.
Probably most likely.
Yeah.
If they don't add packs, it's like, what are you doing? They technically do already have it, but it's like for levels right now. The max union level, from what I can tell, is 80. As for limited time items, yeah, that's a given with a lot of these live service games. To the extent of like how much they're limited, like for example, I hate to bring it up, but mint picking game, right? They have some limited time weapons where it works so well with. It's literally the best in slot weapon with some of the characters, and you can never obtain it again.
Bruh.
Yeah, so I think Albedo, Mr. Edward Elric ripoff, right? His best in slot weapon is limited to an event. which will never rerun again, and you can never get the weapon again.
That's
The character is quite literally bricked.
bro.
There's 0 ways to obtain it later on. So I kind of suggest, not really suggest, but I'd like to see like how far they go with the limited time items.
How far would they go, or how soup would they drop to?
Yeah.
How low would
How dog shit can we go?
Yeah.
How can we punish our player base and make their standards like negative in hell? I don't have any question, but I just hope the game went well, fix a lot of issues, make the game unique and more live. I hope they make it with a lot of passion. As of right now, we are playing for money. We're not playing for passion.
Every
playing-
decision that was made
Every
in this
decision.
CBT is made with money in mind. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So don't expect
The
much.
conversation topic right now is just you guys asking like questions and stuff. We've already covered dailies, weeklies, gacha, events, exploration, the general like combat feel, enemy design, I guess,
Mhm.
and also like the stamina system, echoes, end game content, general progression, and general quality of life. So right now we're pretty much at the end of the stream. So any question you want to ask, we got you. CBT1 versus CBT2. CBT2 messed up a lot of stuff. Sanhua feels disgusting to play compared to CBT1. She has like animation locks on her at the end of her ults, and then also you can't charge her core forte mid ult 2 through the animations. So you have to specifically wait for like a couple frames after the ult is cast. So it's no longer as fluid as before. Mostly what you guys said, I agree with everything. Yeah.
I feel, as for the combat, I feel like it's just the same, but worse. But it is not
Yeah.
worse because like they actively did something with it. I feel like it is worse because they didn't do much with it. And what I'm referring to is the intro skill and outro skill system. Because when I heard about them changing it in the devs interview, right? They said that every character is gonna have a different intro skill and outro skill. So I thought that it was gonna be some Devil May Cry type of shit where this one characters get a skill where they drop down something in the map, and then the character that comes in can attack it and then gain some buffs and some shit like that. I thought it was gonna be something interesting, but nah, it is extremely streamlined and straightforward. It is just basic attack up, damage percent up, very basic stuff. So
Like
that's what I meant.
with
Yeah.
the intro outro skill, like it is underwhelming, I guess, but the foundation is there. I think it's much better than the original CBT1 stuff. That stuff would pretty much break the kind of meta of the game. Because you see how Donjin's really strong right now? If we had the old system, it would just elevate her to another level. Where if you have Spectro and Havoc, you switch in between them and they get like what, a 50% damage boost for like a certain amount of time. And it's only like certain elements got useful stuff. Spectro was a lot of healing based stuff, because you know Verinal is the 5-star of Spectro at the time. So I guess with this new system, they got the foundation there and like the potential to add anything, to be honest. So it's more unique. So Rover has time stop. Baiji, in her instance, she can give you healing and also quote unquote damage increase, which was a mistranslation on their part. It's actually a crit rate increase by 15%. And then so in terms of like the meta of Wuthering, like how you play, it's usually how you gotta consider like the intro and outro skill with it, or like the functions. Then you also gotta consider like your rotation timings. Let's assume Donjin doesn't exist, since Donjin, if you switch off her, it's a massive DPS loss.
Yeah. And it's and it's weird because like they don't have a set system. Like let's say for MPGR, you have like it's like a system where you rotate between your characters, right? And it's mostly consistent. It's mostly consistent. The gameplay is just you dropping in, do your core, drops all of your pings, and then you do the same thing for different characters. It goes on a rotation like that. And it's mostly consistent, but in Wuthering ways, for some reason, some characters that you can rotate in, but then some characters you can just consistently use them on field like Dungeon. So the game overall doesn't have like a that doesn't have a consistent system that they stick to. I feel like that's lacking.
There's for example, Encore. She plays a DPS role, more of like a burst DPS in a sense. So you pretty much your E skill first, and then you use your echo to buff up your actual like ult. So you do your full echo things, and then now you use your ult. Now you're able to parry on Encore, and you pretty much do your whole rotation. Use E skill, do all your basics. Then you hold your core forte and switch out.
Yep.
And then you should usually go to a sub DPS at that point. So hypothetically, we actually have the materials to build characters. You'd either go to your second DPS or your sub DPS, and after that your support, or whatever order that's makes sense to you, or makes more sense. Usually I start off with like Baiji to get my crit rate up and healing going, and also the set effects of the echoes for damage boost. I remember playing with Bianca and basically almost never switching. Then you weren't playing Bianca properly. Wait, which Bianca? Okay, Balter. You could go 2 rotations and then switch off.
Yep.
That's how you usually do it. If you're talking Veritas, the lightning one, then yeah, you weren't cooking on that. You just needed knowledge, I guess, since they don't really teach you much. Yeah, Balter. Balter, you usually do 2 rotations over, since you can go back to back, and then you switch off to like Rosetta, pop Rosetta's ult real quick, hold the slam, boom, switch to Luminance, and then get your crit rate boost up, and then rinse and repeat with Balter again.
Yep. Are you guys at this moment rooting for the game? Damn. No.
See, I want it to be good, but the decisions they're making is discouraging.
Real.
As we said, like what would we describe the game as with one word in the start?
Honestly, I would be rooting for the game, or like having a little bit of faith in them, but with a lot of the stuff that have been going on in the background, honestly, right now I'm just rooting for the downfall. Honestly,
yeah.
If those things didn't happen, if those behind the scenes stuff didn't happen, I would be more tempting. To pray for the success. But nah,
we have every reason to be calm.
Yeah.
I hate her, I guess.
It's like they are trying. They are actively trying to make an op out of us. We used to be trying to play CBT 3. Oh yeah,
it's a given.
Not because like I'm interested in it, but morely because I want to watch how this is. Like I want to watch the world burn. I want to see where this train wreck goes.
Train goes boom.
I'ma be there.
CBT1's outro system was dog shit, bro. Get that shit out of here. I just think CBT2's one just needed a lot more expanding on, which they probably didn't have enough time due to the 10-month constraint. In fact, they wouldn't have time because of like different priorities. That's most likely it. Yeah. It was dog shit, bro. What you mean? Okay, do you really want your game to be limited to, okay, these two specific elements are just broken as hell as DPSs, and everybody else who isn't is gonna fall behind majorly just because they can't proc an outro skill that benefits them.
I guess they could just like fix it by nerfing it so that everyone's power is generally the same. So I don't think it's like the nature or like the concept of the system is bad. It's just that one aspect of it is really overpowered, and I think they could just like nerf it and everything would be alright. But it's just like
usually they wouldn't nerf it. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's just like some small number changes in the coding, so I don't think it would take that much. This is
it
like,
wouldn't take that much, but it's also like you're gonna try trust them to do it. I'm trying to put as much faith as like what's actually in there than what that could be there, if you get me. Yeah. Because a lot of these live servers, man, the trust in developers for live services is really shaky. The problem with Gion is you're not even using heavy attacks most of the time. You're using normal attacks, since that's where most of his damage is on the last hit, at least. But yeah, I could see it for like other characters. I think the current new ecosystem would probably be like the way it buffs characters, at least for the elemental, is more similar to the old Concerto in a way. His old scales with heavy attack damage, what you mean? I haven't looked into any data mine stuff. I play with experience, since you could do a lot of I guess theory crafted numbers, but in this game the enemies actually attack you, unlike them in picking one. Will Kuro listen and improve Wuthering Waves or fail tragic? Look forward to the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
they will. Problem is, we already read the manga.
Yeah, we read the manga. We already know.
We already know how it's gonna end, bro. Right. If nothing else, I'm gonna end the streams. I'm gonna end the stream early. It's already 6 a.m. for me now. Gonna have to take a rest again. But yeah, it was good. It was good dogpiling on this game. Very enjoyable stream, just dogpiling on the game. Very refreshing.
Just get the frustrations out, pretty much. I wouldn't even call it dogpiling. We're just calling out what the bullshit that we see specifically. And if we don't call it out, people are gonna end up with it in their final game, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, what was the beta tester doing? What was Kuro doing? Why didn't anyone complain?" Even though 90% of these testers already dropped out of the game because like it's that hard to play.
The bar
hard to play and like have the will to play it.
The bar has gotten so low that any form of criticism is seen as complaints.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I guess that's the usual gacha game community.
But yeah, alright. Thank you for joining the stream, y'all, and also thank you to Phantom for also joining the stream as well.
Yeah, thank you for everyone. Even though we came like really late, but I apologize for that. Yeah,
same. All right, as always, stay hydrated, stay
healthy,
stay hydrated, stay healthy, and stay chaotic, y'all.
Yeah, stay chaotic.
Thank you guys. See you guys next time.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.